Hello everyone and welcome back to the European Cricket Network where, can you believe it, USA and Canada live on the ECN. All the action is just around the corner. Netherlands with a fantastic win yesterday and all the action is going to start right now. So great to have you with us on the ECN network for this blockbuster encounter, T20I action, Canada taking on USA. Our first look at USA in the T20 series. They've just concluded the 50 over try series with Netherlands and Canada, and this should be a really enthralling game. Look, let's talk a little bit about Canada. Probably disappointing yesterday with their overall result, but there was a couple of bowlers that stood out for me. Saad bin Zafar, the left arm off spinner, and Kaleem Sana, the left arm quick. Boy, they are tasty to watch, and if they can get on a bit of a roll, maybe can get into this dangerous USA batting lineup. On the US side, Andreas House, or Andres House, however you pronounce it, he's a very dangerous batsman. Looking forward to seeing him. And Aaron Jones, boy, did he light it up at the World Cup. USA did make the top 8 of the T20 World Cup earlier this year, so they've got a free ticket to the 2026 World Cup in India. But every game they're playing here, they will be preparing and trying to find their best T20 mojo. A little bit about the weather conditions. It's a very breezy sort of day here again in the Netherlands, and we're expecting a little bit of rain in about 2 hours time. So let's hope the cricketing gods let us get a full game of action. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, let's go to my co-commentator. He's with the two captains for the coin toss.
Yeah, thanks. Time for the toss now. It's going to be USA taking on Canada, and this is the oldest international rivalry in sport now in the T20I format. Captains are next to me, Manik Patel, Nicholas Curtin and the ICC match referee, Mr. Phil Thompson from Ireland. Manik, please give the coin a toss. Heads the call. Heads is called, and it comes down as a head. You've won the toss 6 times now. As captain, you're getting one thing very right. What are you going to do, please, and why?
Yeah, we're going to have a bat first. Looking at the pitch from yesterday's ECN wicket, I think it actually looks a bit better than yesterday. So hopefully we could get a good start with the top order today and put a good score on the board.
Was the consideration of some rain coming later not in your mind? You didn't think about wanting to bowl first with DLS possibly coming into play?
Yeah, we did think about that, but at the end of the day, if we get a good score on the board and then we take some early wickets, it puts pressure on them for the DLS as well. So we're just trying to play to our strengths today, so that's the main reason for the decision to bat first.
How difficult has the tour been? There's been lots of good individual moments, but still no wins. You'll be desperate to put that right. Yeah,
definitely. So, as I said, that's why, again, the decision to bat first. Just try to give ourselves the best chance to play our brand of cricket. So, yeah, hopefully those 1 or 2 of those individual performances today could help us get a win.
Okay, final question. Any changes to your starting 11?
Yeah, one change. So, Dilpreet Bajwa out and Praveen Kumar in. Okay.
Right, best of luck as always. Nicholas Curtin, sticking with that same tactic. He's going to have a bat first again. Manik, just come in here, mate. What would you have done?
We would have bowled first. I'm happy to bowl first. You know, there might be some rain later on in the game, and with the DLS coming into the play, I think bowling first is a good option.
You've got that golden ticket already. You've qualified for India and Sri Lanka in 2026 with that Super 8 finish on home soil. So what are series like this? What are you trying to achieve in them? What's the pathway for the next 18 months for USA and T20Is?
I think we want to, you know, make sure what's the best balance for our squad, especially playing 11. And I want to make sure that we play consistently with the same squad and get that momentum before the World Cup.
Okay, what about the makeup of your team today? A few new faces are coming back for this format. Are they into the team?
Yes, they are. Gauzy comes in, Nitish comes in. We are playing with 3 pacers and 3 spinners.
Manik, lovely to see you as always. Okay, that's the news from the middle. Nicholas Curtin, he cannot stop winning tosses. He's won all 6 on this tour. He's going to stick with that same tactic as yesterday. Canada will bat first.
Thank you very much, Andrew Leonard, with that lovely introduction, and a big warm welcome to everyone around the world. We're here for some T20 action. Well, USA versus Canada, one of the oldest rivalries, if not the oldest, in world of sport, I've been told by my co-coms. I'm sure we'll delve into that in a moment, but really looking forward to today's action as we have a quick look at the 2 lineups. And, well, there was a couple of names yesterday that stood out for me. Obviously, for Canada, I really like the look of Saad Zafar. I've seen him a lot before, that left arm sort of off spin that just comes in a little bit with the arm ball. And Kaleem Sana, ball of the day yesterday to Scott Edwards. Look out for this USA team, though. Aaron Jones lit it up at the World Cup. He's got an opportunity out here on the ECN network, listed at 4 there. But they're going to be bowling first, so it's going to be up to that team to try and restrict Canada. And very interesting toss news. Canada winning the toss, electing to have a bat first, which I agree with what Andrew Leonard was sort of saying there. With the weather around, usually teams would prefer to chase just to know what the sort of DLS sort of parodies are and what they need to be able to do later. But Canada being positive and deciding to have a bat. So we have a quick look at the supercomputer and a perfect opportunity to welcome back Andrew Leonard into the Combox.
Very good afternoon, Corey. Great to be with you again, mate. I really enjoyed yesterday. Looking forward to today. And yeah, a couple of points. Firstly, it is not one of the oldest international rivalries. It's the oldest.
You were telling me that.
1844.
I don't want to have to get Google up right away. But is it really?
Yeah, the first ever international sporting fixture of any kind between any two sides was played between USA and Canada in New York in mid to late September 1844. And it was a cricket match.
Look, I like a Tuesday night quiz night, but I've not heard this one, and that's a great one to have.
Everyone always thinks, oh, it must be England, Australia, or they think, oh, maybe it's England, Scotland in football, or association football, or something like that. But no, it actually predates most other international sporting fixtures by quite a distance, and without getting into all the detail of it, it was an extraordinary occasion with more than 10,000 fans on. I think there were supposed to be 3 days of play, but one of them was washed out. So I think it was across 2 days. It was a 2-innings game, and it was a match that was such an incredible social occasion. You know, there was tens of thousands there. It was supposed to be utterly incredible, and that was one of the reasons that they wanted to go back to New York for the World Cup, the kind of the site of that first ever international match. And then that's why they chose, even though it wasn't in New York, it was in Texas, why they chose USA and Canada to get the tournament going in that T20 World Cup. Second thing, I can't believe they've had a bat first here. I really can't. I was kind of almost shocked. I wasn't shocked he's won the toss. He's won 6 in a row. Can't stop winning tosses, can Nicholas Curtin. But it feels like a bowl first day, doesn't it?
Yeah, just looking at that forecast, we are expecting some rain in about 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 20-minute time. And, well, obviously if you're chasing and then obviously the rain sort of falls down and we have that DLS, a mystique of the DLS, which makes it always a bit confusing for everybody. Well, usually you'd want to be chasing, but a confident call from the skipper. He said, we're going to get out there, we're going to put the runs on the board, and we'll figure it out a little bit later. So we're almost set to go. These two teams obviously featured in the World Cup, and we're talking about the first ever appearance. I think you said 1844.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago they were playing each other, which was a bit of a doozy of a game, wasn't it?
One of the games of the tournament. It really got things going with a bang. One of the 55 matches, it all got underway under floodlights in Grand Prairie, this amazing stadium. I've got to give a shout out to the Major League Cricket guys who built that stadium. Yep. The job they've done there. You would never know it was a baseball venue, and the way in which they've repurposed it, the quality of the outfield, the pitches, just exceptional. So, yeah, an incredible game. Canada scored 190. They were what looked like miles ahead of USA, who were in real trouble. And then an over from Nikhil Dutta went for 15 or 20, including a couple of no balls. And then the next one from Jeremy Gordon went for 20 odd, and Aaron Jones just lit up the whole tournament. But it'll be Aaron Johnson for Canada. We'll be trying to light this event up. And Janoy Drysdale, he's 32 years of age. He moved to New York when he was 17, originally from Jamaica. He's come from nowhere. Incredible. He's been plugged away in domestic club cricket up there in the northeast of America. I think he's a real find. He's got something, doesn't he? Oh,
you've got a bit of shape off that first delivery, and a big opportunity here. He'd love to take a couple of early wickets. We saw this Canadian top order yesterday. They sort of got Kyle Klein, if anything, and he was on fire. So I'll be looking for a much more positive start here today in, it must be said, quite humid conditions.
And USA have done exactly what Canada and Netherlands failed to do yesterday, which is bowl the first over from this end, the city or the river end. There's a little tributary up there, the River Ryan, that's the only reason I'm calling it river end, the city end. The first over bowl there, the reason that's important, the wind is the exact same as yesterday. Good healthy crowd just coming in to enjoy the action. It's piling over Aaron Johnson's left shoulder, isn't it? Over kind of long off.
Yeah, and we saw yesterday it actually wreaked havoc with the new ball bowlers. They were really struggling to push through that gale. But I think it's maybe probably 10 knots, not as heavy today.
Yeah, his natural shape is an away swing from the right-hander. He was clocked, he played, I think it was 3 Major League games. He was clocked at nearly 140 kilometres an hour, Drysdale.
That's quick.
He's got something there. He's 32. This is his T20I debut. He's come really late to international cricket, but I think Stuart Law might have just found one, the new American head coach.
Looks like a strong, strapping boy. A little bit of flair about him as well. So, nice start, getting that nice shape away from Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson with a bit of a laundry issue overnight. No number on the back of the shirt. So, if you were wondering why it is blank, just a bit of laundry issues.
We get it all in the associate
game,
don't we?
You do. Well, usually you go... It has been a long tour. It has been a long tour. You were touching on it's been a difficult tour for the Canadians as well.
It's been a really tricky tour, I have to say. It's not just the fact, I suppose, that Canada haven't won a game, but it's the way in which they've gone about it. They've been, well, a little all over the place. Collectively. Individually, there's been some excellent performances, but you don't play cricket as an individual, even though this segment of play, each segment of play is individual. So it's bat v ball for a delivery, but there's no use in going well with the bat or well with the ball if none of your teammates are. And for basically the whole tour, they've had 2, maybe 3 people stand up per day. And that's not enough to win international matches, particularly with how competitive the leading associates are now in the world game. Supercomputer quite fancies Canada.
Yeah, look, I don't think the supercomputer has seen too many teams come from outside Europe. But
it's still calculating them.
I'm not sure if it's a 67 to 33. Might flip that. I think USA, obviously, they impressed everyone in world cricket, didn't they? Getting into the top 8 of the World Cup. They have the free ticket through to the next World Cup in India and Sri Lanka, I believe. So they've played some very impressive T20 format cricket in the last couple of years, and very exciting to have them here in Utrecht playing at Kampong.
This thuds into the pad. I think it might just be angling down as Ryan Pathan promoted up the order from number 3.
That's almost a king pair.
He had a golden duck yesterday. How close was this?
Yeah, very close indeed. It actually hurried him up. He looked late on this. Didn't go away, just pitched on middle, kept going on, and that on another day, that could be just clipping leg, tight decision, but goes the way of the Canadians, and the first over is complete. The score is 2 for none.
Well, his heart will have been in his mouth, won't it? It really will. Ryan Kampathan, who's had a long time out of international cricket. I know he was in the squad for the T20 World Cup. He did play one of the warm-up games. That was against Nepal, but that one was, well, a bit of a non-event for him. He didn't get to bat, and he was retired hurt, so he didn't actually end up appearing in any way, shape or form during the tournament. And his T20I yesterday was his first one, I think, for the best part of 3 years, or certainly over 2 years. Yeah, first T20 since February 2022. That was the T20 World Cup qualifier Group A in Oman. He is a dangerous player, does have a T20I century to his name. That came against Panama in Antigua. As Nosh Kenjige will get things going with the new ball from this end. Left arm spin. Been very effective in recent times. Had a good Major League campaign again. These two are devastating ball strikers. They just look a bit shy of confidence up the top.
Just a little bit nervous, a bit twitchy. Sort of reaching for the ball at the moment. Probably need one out the screws to get that sort of flow going.
Different kind of weather today, isn't it? It's more humid, it's stickier,
yeah,
a little bit warmer.
Yeah, you can feel it in the air a little bit, and I do think the players will be feeling it out there. It has been this summer in the Netherlands has been uncharacteristically wet, but thankfully we got a full game in yesterday after some earlier showers today. A little bit more nervous. I do hope the rain stays away. Be lovely to have a full T20 match here.
Be great to get a result in, even if we're abridged in the second innings, and that could end up being the case if the forecast is very accurate. USA have actually been really quick through their overs throughout this tour. They've been the only one of the 3 sides, to be honest, because they bowled so much spin.
So Nicholas Curtin obviously winning the toss and electing the bat, and you and I have touched on the weather a little bit. That could be around the corner. Do you still think that you can see his point of view? It's just a braver decision. He wants the bats to get out there and do it?
No.
Okay. Good honesty, Lenny.
Cannot understand it whatsoever.
Were you surprised with their decision yesterday also?
Probably. I don't want to use Captain hindsight on it. I try not to be results-based thinking. he did the same in the ODIs because he's won every toss, remember. Johnson goes bang, 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 bang. Goodbye to that one. That is monstrous. Okay, it's with the wind. It's only a flick of the wrists. This man is capable of playing some of the most incredible strokes you'll ever see. How good was that?
It's actually cleared the rope by about 30 metres and straight into those big trees to the right of your screen. And, well, they're going to bring the briefcase out because that Kookaburra is gone. Can you show the umpires bringing the briefcase?
That is quite staggering. Look at this. It's just a flick of the wrists.
Oh, he got every piece of that, didn't he?
Look at how far it's gone.
I'll tell you right now, that briefcase could get very, very busy if this man bats for a period of time. We actually lost a couple yesterday to Michael Levitt as well. If I was a Dutch cricket supporter, I think I'm going for a bit of a walk into those trees over there.
Three of them are off for a look. 3 know the value of the new Kookaburras.
Well, they're pretty expensive these days.
Yeah, 80, 90 euros, I think, if not more. The potential this man has, we saw it in phases. We saw a 50 and a 30 from him in the ODIs, but if he gets going here, strokes like these, anything's possible. He's such a good batter to watch, and the quality of his timing. He does have raw power, yes, but look at the timing here. Beautiful stroke.
Yeah, I love how he puts that bottom sort of wrist through the ball as well, just to crunch it. Gets a lot of power. Nice little finish to the over there for Canada. 13 for none after 2.
Remember, Johnson, who, hope you won't mind me saying this, is not the most fluent of movers in the field. He's had a litany of knee problems. That's the points table thus far. KNCB, Cricket Canada, USA Cricket, representing Netherlands, Canada and USA. And of course the Dutch, the home side, are top of the table with their win yesterday. But it's not just his long-standing knee problems. He took a nasty one, didn't he, yesterday?
Yeah, it
right on the, it was on the half volley on the, I think, the left knee. So he might just be looking at mainly boundaries today. As Patan gets that round the corner, Van Schalkwyk will run after it. He is in the squad only because of the absence of Ali Khan. He wasn't originally named in the squad.
Yeah, disappointing not to have Ali Khan come out here to Netherlands. Obviously the quick, fast bowler. Would have been lovely to have seen him playing on the ECN network, but maybe in the future. Does offer another opportunity for USA to test their depth in the T20 format. This will be a good little contest now. Johnson got himself in with a 6 and a 4. I think yesterday we were a little bit perplexed with what might be a par score because we didn't have much history to go on, and in the end they hit 150 and we thought that could be competitive. But boy, this is a beautiful batting wicket.
Well, Max O'Dowd and Michael Levitt, they sold us a dummy,
yeah,
didn't they for the first 3 overs.
I think Max O'Dowd.
The first 2 in particular. None off 11,
Yeah,
Max.
Max O'Dowd definitely sold us a bit of a dummy because none off 11 and they were chasing 150, and after 3 I think they might have been on about 6 or 7. I looked at you and we thought, oh, game on, but in the end they chased it down pretty comfortably, the Dutch.
They won doing handstands.
Vikramjit Singh's innings, 50 off 20, ridiculous.
Second fastest T20I half-century. Great crowd, particularly for an all-neutral clash. Loved the kids coming in yesterday. That's not a great delivery, just the arm dropping a little bit lower this time from Drysdale. Now, there could be a chance here. Johnson needs to get going. He will get home. He assessed that Van Schalkwyk had to turn, and it will be 3 wides to the total. Johnson will keep the strike.
Yeah, handy run, just slipping down the leg side. And did well to sort of get a glove on it, but we disappointed Patel maybe not to rein it back in. So bonus runs for Canada. Look, despite the decision at the toss, we might have opinions or not. It's a good little start compared to yesterday, a bit more positive and looking okay here.
And whether Canada get 200 and win the game or whether they're bowled out for 120 and lose comfortably, it's not really the point. It's a perplexing decision given the conditions and the forecast. And it's not as though after, less than 40 overs on the surface yesterday, it's not as though it's going to break up and turn square or something in the second innings this evening. Like plenty of the Canadian decisions they've made throughout this tour, you could argue Dilpreet Badra being left out today is a strange one as well, given he was the only Centurion in the GT20 a couple of weeks ago in this format. Played once yesterday, didn't do much yesterday, but left out. You know, they just feel like a camp that's at 6s and 7s. And
it is a new day. Maybe they're going to start show their best on the network.
Yeah, and so much
of their fate lies in the wrists and the bat of Aaron Johnson, because if he bats for 12 or 14 overs,
Canada get up to something.
Canada are getting over 200.
Well,
I'll tell you that now.
Ravinder Paul Singh yesterday as well. He impressed us at the back end as well. And there's a few other names that want to put their hand up. I was really impressed actually still with the opening bowler, Kaleem Sano.
Yeah,
really looking forward to watching him in probably an hour and a half's time. And maybe with the dark clouds rolling over, get a bit more swing.
Could. And of course, you could have an abridged chase. As Pathan goes to his trademark zone, loves it over cow corner. A little bit over pitched from Drysdale. And it's a bit agricultural, but it's very effective, and he gets his first boundary.
I think that might calm a few nerves for him. Obviously getting a golden duck yesterday. He looked a little bit loose his first few deliveries here, but that's a nice stroke. Over pitch, full straight, and just chips it nicely over mid-wicket. So positive signs here for Canada.
In a funny way, we can't predict the weather. We have broad ideas that we could have an abridged second innings. If we did, let's just say it was 5 or 7 or 8 overs. Because Sana's so good at the top, maybe then that might start to make Nicholas Curtin's decision look a bit more kind of clever, a bit more nouseful, if you will. 3 have been bowled, 22 for none. Great to have you with us. Do get in touch. You're watching us live on the European Cricket Network, and a big hello to everyone watching live, tuning in on Willow TV. It's a North American derby. It's by far the biggest cricket network in North America. It's been a long-standing partner of the ICC, Willow TV. I know Todd and all the team there. They do an amazing job at getting so much cricket. Like, you wouldn't believe how much cricket they get on that network.
Willow TV and ECN collide. It's almost clash of two worlds here. I love it.
What it's all about.
It is brilliant.
That is the potential batting order, but not necessarily the definite one. But we do wonder as to where the man who's come into the team today, Parveen Kumar, for just his second T20I, where he will bat today. We didn't see him in the ODI series, and he's come in for his chance today. Didn't get many runs in the GT20, but not many batters did. It was very difficult batting conditions there in Brampton, about probably 40 minutes from Toronto, as Jesse Singh will come in for his first over. An immediate change, and this might be someone who Aaron Johnson, even though it's not from the correct end, he'll be hitting up into the wind. I think he might target Singh here.
Yeah, I have a feeling he might as well. They've sort of in that nice little sort of rhythm here now, 22 off 3.1. They'd love to cash in the last couple of overs of this power play. Jesse Singh hit the deck bowler, tries to get a little bit of nibble off it. So far, what I'm seeing in this surface looks like a very true wicket once again. I think Canada be wanting 170 plus at least.
Oh, it's a stylish stroke, isn't it? Only be a couple, but it's just the timing that Johnson brings to all of his cricket. The innings he played when he made 50 in the ODIs, that was up at Voorburg. Whilst he was there, he looked untouchable. And then Harmeet Singh just tempted him to hit one, try and hit one over long on. He just hit him over long off for 6, and then he picked out long on the ball later. He's an audacious striker of the ball, career strike rate 160. If he's there at the halfway stage of this first innings, it's game on.
Yeah, it will be game on. And I think that shot there just shows how true this wicket is. A little back foot punch, and it raced away for 2. Good signs here for Canada.
No ball called, and it's going to be 4 and a free hit to come. Canada are up and they're rolling, and no surprise that it's Aaron Johnson. Jesse Singh's had some terrible issues with no balls historically. Didn't bowl any in the ODIs. Come back to haunt him today with the wind behind his back.
Yeah, a bit of a coach killer that, and that really does release the shackles a little bit. Johnson's looking good here. Didn't get the bouncer up high enough either, so free hit time. The immunity cloak, we like to call it.
Where's this one going? He's going into the trees, isn't he?
I think after the first 6, there was a few spectators that went walking looking for the ball. I hope they're still there.
They're right. You can still see them. They are still there. There's people all throughout the bushes over there. Right, look out, whether you're in the crowd or whether you're across in the fields and the trees, particularly to the leg side. I think this one, I don't want to build it up too much. This could be massive. Where is he going to target? What will Jesse Singh do? Is he going to take the pace off? Boom! There it goes. Oh, we told you. He hasn't even got all of it, but it's splashed down over there And the free hit is very costly. Johnson, he's up and running.
He's absolutely smoked it. What a shot. He's actually, to be fair, that's not the worst delivery. He's cramped it for room a little bit. He's really got it into that sort of mid-riff. But the quick hands, the extension, and just chipped it massively for 6 over there. And you were right, the spectators are still out there. That's 2 beautiful kookaburras over there.
I think they're going to get this one.
Can you show the spectators?
I think they're going to get it. Good on them. Yeah, it didn't quite go as far as we thought, but he's done well, hasn't he, to get the elevation underneath it.
Well, it's about 80 or 90 euro, just hiding somewhere in the shrubs. And if you can find it, put it in the pocket, don't tell anyone.
Yasser Mohammed wants it. He's over there.
That's brilliant pictures, that. Well, welcome to the Netherlands. You have a couple of canals around and a lot of greenery. I don't know if they're going to find that one, Lenny.
Come on, lads. Oh, somebody's got to stay on that. Somebody's got a fishing net out here. Look at this.
This is because of the little canal. This is the little water that's going around the ground. There it is.
There he is. Oh, love this.
Let's mark him.
Oh, this is genius. I thought it was splashdown at first.
So in top class of cricket here in the Netherlands, every ground will have one of these little pool scoops, and if they get the ball, 99% of the time after a 15-minute delay, you have to continue with it. Very rare they change it. One of the
Get
beautiful
used to bowling with a little kind of slightly damp ball.
Every team selects a player now that can bowl with the wet ball.
Pressure on Singh immediately, and still looking for it over there. There's 3 of them at it, 4 of them at it now. Jesse Singh under the pump. He's only bowled 3 legal deliveries, gone for 13. Johnson edges this one away for a single. Keep your eyes on that expected score. 164 it's saying now. That might be conservative, particularly depending upon Aaron Johnson's efforts.
I think the way we watched the Dutch bat on it yesterday showed how true the wicket was, and the ball was flying away over this outfield as well, pretty quick. So I think 164 minimum. A decent start here. Obviously the middle overs would be a little bit more tough, but yeah, it's the Johnson shot at the moment. 25 off 16, looking very good indeed.
He's so good to watch, I have to say. There is not... You think of him, Mohammed Waseem.
Yeah,
when Mohammed Waseem's going from UAE.
Yep.
I'm talking about the best associate cricketers here. George Munsey for Scotland. I've got to put Michael Levitt in that bracket as well.
Early shout.
No, he's only a kid, but he hits as clean a ball as you'll see around the associate game. It depends if Nico Davin can get going for Namibia, but when he gets going, he hits a very pure cricket ball too.
Michael Lease gives it a real wallop.
Huge.
He gives it an absolute wallop. Yeah, there's a few names out there that when they come out to bat, it always brings the masses. You want to watch them play.
Yeah, there's no doubt, but there's something about an X-factor opener, isn't there?
Yeah.
Kushal Bertel had a great start to his career for Nepal too, but Johnson, he's as good as there is around the traps in the associate game. And all of a sudden, the wheels are off in a big way. Look at the extras counter already. That's the way the wind is going. That's the way it's piling down. And the keeper, I think it's the skipper, Mayank Patel, has got the gloves back off Smith Patel. That's an unhappy captain.
Yeah, I'd be pretty unhappy as well. He doesn't have a chance there. That's 5 wides and already 20 off this over.
We have to give you 2 pieces of injury news from the USA camp as well. We haven't done that yet. One, Jesse Singh. You're going to guess the first one. Jesse Singh is fit to play. He took a nasty blow in the 3rd ODI, the 5th overall, the 3rd ODI for USA, to the inside of his ankle, and it actually swelled up quite badly. It was a heavy bruise, but the incredible, they've got a great backroom team here, USA, Rejan Chin, the physio, and Asia Joseph, the strength and conditioning coach. They're both from Trinidad. Actually, Trinidad and Tobago. Asia's given out to me. They've managed to get Jesse Singh fit. But we do have an update as we get to the end of the 4th. 42 for none on Stephen Taylor. It's not good news. You saw that knee injury in the final ODI. It was a bit of Simon Jones to it. He's gone down sliding for the ball sideways, and his full body weight has gone over that. I don't know the status in terms of how long he might be out for, whether it's a game or 2 games or the whole tour, but he certainly won't be playing today. I'd be very surprised if he turns out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging, obviously, for the backroom stuff. Injuries happen. We saw Vivian Kingma yesterday go down. We haven't really heard too much. I'd be surprised if we saw him again
during the series.
And these are the tests when you're on a long tour and those little injuries come in. It is difficult for the coaches.
For the Dutch, in a funny way, though, it might be a good thing, because Viv's had a load of cricket recently and he's been so good. You could give Ellenbass a chance, or Brandon could come into the squad and Brandon Glover a chance to play.
I think Brandon it'd be good to see Brandon Glover back again bowling for the team in orange, but obviously Ollie Ellenbus is patiently waiting. Another good fast bowler from Hermes Cricket Club. So they do have a lot of depth. All these teams have a lot of depth. A bit more difficult for USA and Canada being away from home.
The other thing you have to remember for both of these two sides that you're watching right now live here, not just on the European Cricket Network, on Willow TV as well in North America, as Van Schalkwyk comes into the attack. And angling down. You have to remember they're going to be straight back into Cricket World Cup League 2 action very quickly. Both actually on the same day. There's concurrent series taking place in Toronto and in Windhoek. So the Toronto series will be Canada hosting Nepal and Oman. I will be out there for that, or I've probably given an update I wasn't allowed to give yet, but anyway, forget it.
Sorry, what did you say?
I might be out there for that. We'll see, but looking forward to that. And then for USA, they're heading back to somewhere, they played a lot of cricket, down to Windhoek. And that'll be the 16th to the 26th of September. Again, the 6 ODIs, that will be between Namibia, UAE and USA. And you'd think for Stephen Taylor, he's such a key player for America, I'm not sure if he's going to be available for those either.
Yeah,
wait and see.
Yeah, you have to. It's difficult, isn't it, with this World Cricket League 2, and now we're expecting a lot of T20s to be added to these series. If you do pick up an injury, they come so thick and fast that, unfortunately, you might miss a fair few internationals.
That's the last thing you want to do, isn't it? You know,
no, of course not. But you're right in a sense. Sometimes the coaches stumble upon something they weren't thinking about when an injury occurs. So maybe there's a silver lining there.
Tight ring field, 4 on the offside. And Johnson tries to find the gap through it anyway. Aaron Jones does the fielding. 3 in the ring on the leg side, and then it's long off and long on back. So Van Schalkwyk's trying to protect the areas where the wind is blowing. I'm sure you watch lots of that World Cup. Aaron Jones is one of the stories of it. Incredible knock.
If not story of it, as an individual, he almost put his whole name in limelight, and everyone's speaking of that incredible knock. There was no better way to kickstart the World Cup in America, to be fair. And yeah, they were just so good to watch.
Pathan goes to his favourite leg side. He's going to get 4. Van Schalkwyk, he's trying to protect that by having deep square out for Pathan. He doesn't have him out for Johnson, but it goes a long way to his right. 4 more to the total.
Yeah, just angling in a little bit too much. That was going past leg stump as well. So nice shot and a dream start for Canada here. 48 on the board, staring at a 50 partnership to start. Big difference compared to yesterday, where they lost 3 early ones to Kyle Klein.
Pumped down the ground. That's the best shots of Ryan Pathan's innings. Lovely when you see him free his arms like that. It's hitting with the wind. The 50s come up. We said it yesterday, maybe the first time in the whole series Canada might have been on top in a match. They're definitely on top in this one.
It's a bit of brute force in that shot. It was over pitch. He just stood still and smacked it straight. Lovely batting. And yeah, 50 partnership up. They've got a big platform here. We were talking yesterday a little bit about this pitch, and it looked like after talking to the national captain Netherlands Scott Edwards, that it actually improved for batting as the more that they played on it. And same wicket today, 200 could be on the cards. It really could be.
Taken. Really good catch. Yasir Mohammed right on the edge of the 30-yard circle. The youngster gets up tall and high, almost like a basketballer, doesn't he? And he clings on. And didn't USA need this?
Yeah, brilliant catch. Over the head, 2 hands. Yasir Mohammed, he'll enjoy that because that was hit with a fair bit of venom. And a much-needed breakthrough for USA on the last ball of the power play. Frustration for the Canadian opener. But the partnership's there. He's done a good job. It'll have to be up to someone else coming out at number 3.
It's a shame for Pathan because he's waited so long, isn't he, to get back in. First ball duck yesterday could have been gone, being honest, for a first ball duck today. That looked like a very, very tight call. And he knows that once he gets a start, he's got all that power to show off. And this is a big change. Look at this. Nicholas Curtin's going to come in at 3. Change to the order from yesterday. Credit to Van Schalkwyk. He's hit the pitch. And, well, Yasir Mohammed's really helped him out there. Good catch, that.
Yeah, brilliant catch. And I actually like this move. The skipper coming out at number 3. Obviously batted fantastically yesterday. Helped to save his team in some respects, get up to a score that could have been defendable on another day, but the tall left-hander, Nicholas Curtin, and I think maybe a little bit of this power play ending. Lefty-righty combination. Do you want to run it? Obviously, we know Johnson's not the quickest anymore between 22 yards, but just having that lefty-righty combination once the field spreads does help.
I think a big consideration is the fact that USA are almost certain to bowl 8 overs of left-arm spin. And they've only bowled 1 of that so far. So I think it's a positive move, it's an aggressive move. I think the world of both of these players for Canada in the middle right now. I think they are hugely talented. You might argue that Curtin underperformed for much of the start of his international career, but he's now found a real way to get himself into innings. And this could be the crucial partnership. Pathan's gone for 14, 52 for 1 the score. They're going to go back to spin for the critical 6th over.
Do you think they're sort of seeing this over through with the fall of that wicket, or they want to cash in the last 5 balls while the field's still tight? You say deep mid-off and a deep backward square are the only 2 boundary riders at the moment.
It's a really hard one to know, isn't it? He'll probably want at least 1 or 2 big shots in the over. Like that. And he's going to try and find the place where there aren't fielders. The problem is, his natural zone, Johnson's down the ground. I know he's hit a couple of 6s to the leg side today, but his natural area is down the ground. You can't really target that from this end. Even going over mid-on into this wind is not necessarily a safe play. They're going to take on the single. Throw goes to Johnson's end, but it's well judged. Yeah, how quickly will Curtin attack? Supercomputer reckons it's an even match already.
Yeah, I can go with that for now. It's a good start from Canada. 50-50 on the supercomputer. Yeah, 3 balls left in the power play. I do think they've sent Curtin out, you're right, with 7 overs of left arm off spin to be in that sort of middle over phase. So I don't expect to see anything crazy from him in the next couple of deliveries. Maybe set himself and make sure they don't lose a couple in a cluster.
2 men in the deep for the left-hander, long on and deep square leg in place. And once the single, the throw's going to go to Johnson's end. He never looks comfortable sprinting through, does he?
It feels painful. I hope it isn't, but yeah, it's almost like a hobbled run. Obviously, a poor, bad history of knee injuries doesn't help.
He's actually a bit quicker than he looks, though.
It's like a loping run, isn't he? He's a big man.
But like when he sprinted through for that single there, you're oh God, Harmeet Singh's going to get him run out here. But actually, he's got home comfortably now a couple of times, and you might not have thought it. 2 balls left in the power play. Is Johnson going to have another crack? It'll probably be that sort of cow corner region you'd imagine he'll go after. Doesn't mind a slog sweep. Yeah, big rivals these two, the 2 North American rivals. Amazing to have them here on Dutch soil. All part of the 6-match T20I series. It's following up the 4th triangular of Cricket World Cup League 2. There were the ODIs, we're into the T20Is now. Canada still hunting a first win, and given the quality of player in their squad, that's pretty surprising. 6 have been bowled, that's the end of the power play, 54 for 1. Expected score 163. They'll want more than that.
I think they'll want more after what we saw yesterday in the run chase from the Dutch. So, good start from Canada. I mean, they did win the toss, elected to bat first. It was a positive move, you'd have to say, from the skipper. He wants to back that top order, and yeah, you'll take that start. It's a crucial partnership, though, isn't it? Ravinder Paul Singh, I think he'll come down at that number 6, number 7. Batted fantastically yesterday, taking the last over of the innings for 21. So there is some depth there in the Canadian lineup.
So Van Schalkwyk will continue. He'll be desperate to take his chance. It's a chance he might not have expected, having flown out just as part of the ODI team. And so nearly as a second wicket. Squares Curtin up, and it's a leading edge that goes, well, what, probably only 10 yards to the right of Nosh Kenjige, a backward point. Now, I want to explain this to you. You'll tell me, Corey. Come on, this is your club.
Well, that's the second field here at Kampong. So right now, while you've got USA and Canada, the oldest rivalry in sport, you've also got it's called like Zami cricket. and it's recreational cricket. Just
Saturday afternoon league.
Yeah, basically, but as lower level as you can imagine. And, well, when you play a game of cricket, you look over your right shoulder and you've got USA playing Canada. How good. That is the beauty of associate cricket in a way.
And that's the Kangpong side taking on, I don't speak great Dutch, the red and white team or something like that they're called?
Rudenwit.
Rutenwit, okay.
But please, there'll be some Dutch viewers that will be messaging me now saying I've got that completely wrong. If you give me a moment, I'll give you the scores from across the road.
But what is that? Is that 30 overs, 40 overs per side?
It differs on where you play. The top divisions are always 50 overs,
Okay.
and then you have some lower divisions that will be around 40.
Johnson happy to work that for a single. Yeah, this partnership's going to be a very important one. Curtin has, after 4 low scores, his first 4 times captaining his country in the ODIs. He's got a good one yesterday. Played very nicely for 68 off 59. And it could have actually been even better. He just slowed down a little bit in the middle of the innings, and that was because of the lack of support around him.
Yeah.
The 5 other top 6 batters didn't get into double figures.
Yeah, the wickets around him made him play a little bit more conservative than what he probably would have liked in the middle stages.
He's an impressive athlete. He's a fine young man, still just 26. And there's plenty of captains around the world who would give an awful lot to have the knack that he has. He's tossed the coin 6 times, he's won it 6 times. How do you do that?
I wonder what the actual odds, statistical odds of doing that are.
You wouldn't believe. Hugely improbable.
You couldn't go the full
Full tour.
Series, full tour. There has to be a reward for that.
He'd be happy to lose 2 tosses if it meant 2 wins. This is good angles and good heavy length from Van Schalkwyk. Experienced cricketer, isn't he? Very well liked around the squad. Spent the majority of his cricket playing career down in his native South Africa, and then made the big move alongside. There was a big pool of guys. It wasn't 30 or 40 that came at once, but there was probably in between 30 and 40 players who came across the course of 2 to 3 years as the guys behind Major League Cricket really started to try and broaden the base and grow the depth of the American domestic game. Well, that is not where you want to bowl to Aaron Johnson. That's into the wind. And if you're over on that other pitch, you might have a second ball coming into play.
Well, I don't know if you're watching on Willow TV or ECN TV. That was 6 anywhere. That was big. And you're right, if you are on that second field, you might be looking over your right shoulder a little bit while you stand at deep square. Oh, brilliant. What a shot.
Yeah, Johnson is up and running in a big way. He gets to 34. He's batting more maturely than he often does. I think he knows how important it is that he bats all the way through. These are the 6 games. Netherlands won yesterday very comfortably, best part of 4 overs to spare. Technically, they won it by 5 wickets. That does not tell the story. They dominated that match against Canada.
No, there was 3 very late wickets, actually. A couple of golden ducks, unfortunately, for the Dutch. And
2 when the scores were tied.
Yeah, you don't often see that. I think Ryan Klein and Liam Cachet will be feeling a little bit aggrieved by that. But look, really exciting series. Obviously, the first 4 games are here in Utrecht at Kampong Cricket Club. And then we're off to Voorburg, playing at VCC, which is a bit of a hybrid pitch. And I think the Dutch enjoy playing there also. So 6 T20s in total, live on the ECN network. And as we mentioned before, a big hello to everyone watching in Willow TV. Great to have so many people tuned in for this clash.
Yeah, it's about, I think, 10:30 a.m. on the East Coast, so it's a really nice time on a Saturday morning. Warm welcome along to the coverage. Andrew Leonard here alongside Corey Rutgers. If you're watching live on YouTube, as Yasser Mohammed comes into the attack with his leg breaks, you can leave us a message in the chat. The only thing we'd ask, we'd love to know where you're watching from. Do let us know if you're asking any questions, or even if you're just watching along voyeuristically, just tell us where you're watching from. Always love to hear. Curtin gets out the reverse. It's going to go all the way. This is exceptional. We've seen some incredible ball striking across the course the last 2 days. Maybe none better than this.
Oh, what a shot. You have to be so talented to be able to do that. It was full. It was straight. If he misses that, he's back in the sheds, but he cashes in. Played a couple yesterday. There was one off Saqib Zulfikar. He got away as well. And that's an amazing stroke. Right now, Canada, it is a true batting surface, and they are enjoying themselves.
Yeah, but one of the challenges today for Mayank Patel, I know he'll be used to keeping, but he didn't keep at all during the ODIs because he did a little bit of a niggle in the first game whilst he was batting, making that incredible century. And Smit Patel is one of the 2 players out of the squad. So Smit Patel and Milan Kumar have gone out, and in come Andries House, who we're really looking forward to seeing him bat. He's another one we can add to the list of openers that smash it in the associate game. And also in comes Nitish Kumar, the former Canadian international, so another day for him. He's played against them a lot already. He debuted against them in that T20 series back in April. He played against them in the World Cup. He's playing against them today, but there's that funny narrative here as well. But for Mayank Patel to have the gloves, because there's no Smith Patel in the team, he could have given the gloves to Kaus. That was the other option. But he's stuck with the gloves himself. It just makes things a bit more difficult, doesn't it, as a leader?
Yeah, I think obviously to be batting in the top order and or keeping, captaining, there's a few players around the world that do it, but it is a lot more responsibility on your shoulders. And these players, though, they're pretty fit these days. You'd imagine he'd find a way to get through it. His mind will be in overdrive at the moment, though, on how to get a wicket, because these two are being quite comfortable. Well, I really like Curtin coming out at number 3. I think it's a positive move. He's got himself ticking along here. 11 off 8. Johnson's 35 off 27.
I think one of the other kind of narratives across today, and indeed the reverse of this fixture, that will be the first game up at Voorburg in 3 days' time. It's going to be a little bit of a revenge mission for Canada. In this format, as we get to the end of the 8th at 73 for 1, they've lost their last 5 against USA, 5 on the bounce. It was a 4-0 heavy series defeat at the Prairie View Cricket Complex in Texas in April. Then there was that somewhat unlikely win that USA pulled off to start the World Cup. That's 5 in a row. And actually, that's the only 5 ones that USA have won in the T20I era against them. And you might say, hold on, did they not beat them in Antigua? That was a tie. And then USA won the Super over. So in terms of outright wins, they're the only 5 outright wins that USA have ever had over Canada, and they're 5 on the bounce. Canada have won 2 of the 8 games, completed games they've played. So 2 wins for Canada, 5 for USA, and that incredible Super over. The most ludicrous game in the history of cricket that was in Antigua.
How much mental scarring do you think that does to the Canadian lineup, knowing that you're going up against them again? You've got them twice now, and you've gone 0 and 5 in the last 5. Do you think that does some damage?
Yeah, 100%, and just lost the 2 ODIs against them as well. And that's why I think we're seeing Johnson bat so responsibly. You know, 36 off 28 is absolutely fine for most players. By his standards, that's quite slow. But I think what he's saying is, I've got to show some leadership here for the team. And Jesse Singh comes back into the attack. Drysdale does the fielding. I don't think that USA are that dominant over Canada, certainly not historically. So it's a little, well, it's a great period, isn't it, for American cricket? But so much of this you look at and you just wonder all the stuff off the field that's been affecting Canada.
It's amazing to think, though, if Aaron Jones doesn't play that innings at the World Cup, the tale of the tape and the story
of the whole World Cup
could be very different. We could have been talking about how Canada got to the final 8. So it's amazing the small margins that you find at the top level. But you're right, USA do have the wood over their old foes at the moment.
And with the way the fixtures played out, had Canada beaten USA, gone on to beat Ireland like they did, and then had the one washout, that would have got them to 5 points. That's what USA had to get them through to the Super 8s. Pakistan couldn't manage more than 4 because they lost to USA. They lost that game to India, of course, the big one up in New York too.
How brutal can tournament play be?
Oh, shocking.
You don't have to tell me twice on this day, Lemmy. It is brutal.
It really is, and particularly in the associate pathways where you don't get a second chance. You know, for the full members, you just go again on to the next series. And that's where, in a funny way, these T20Is, there is a chance to play with a bit of freedom. There is a chance to, you know, there's a lot on the line in terms of rankings. And I think the Dutch, if they can continue to be ruthless and find lots of wins here at home, if USA can get on a roll, remember, they've got 2 wins over Bangladesh this year already, a series win in Texas. They've got a win over Pakistan. Imagine what they're worth in the rankings. And the other thing to remember, in the top 30 teams in the world, on the T20I rankings, USA have played less than anyone. So they've got a much more volatile ranking as a consequence. Burtis will explain it better than you or I will. Burtis de Jong, the great CricBuzz journalist, who's the sage of the rankings. But if you've got less games in the bank, it means that every result kind of can affect your scores even more. So, yeah, for USA, if they went 4 from 4 here, that's a really good start to this kind of cycle, building up to that 2016 cut-off to qualify automatically for the 2018 T20 World Cup.
Can work both ways though, doesn't it? Not having a big game denominator, all of a sudden you have 1 or 2 shock losses to Canada, who have dropped a few points of late, and then all of a sudden you're starting to get a bit twitchy about where you are in the world rankings. And yeah, there's always a lot to play for in the T20 format. I love that they're adding the T20s to all the World Cricket League 2 series. I just think it adds an extra bit of flavour.
It just makes perfect sense. It really does. Good piece of running will get them the single. Coaches will always teach it. If you go immediately at mid-off or mid-on and you call it, you should get there. It's very rare you don't. 1 delivery left in the 9th. Yeah, just to give you a sense of the rankings, you're watching the 18th ranked side in the world here in the form of USA versus the 23rd ranked side in the world, Canada. Now, without boring you hugely on the process of getting to the 2028 T20 World Cup, which is a long way away, you want to try and get in the mix of kind of 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th place to maybe try and snag one of the automatic spots on the rankings. And you might look at the rankings and go, well, hold on, USA are 18th. They can't do that. Not at all. Like I said, they've played less than anyone else in the top 28. So as a consequence, what they would need to do is getting a little bit of a winning streak to start to push up towards Zimbabwe, are currently in 12th. They are 24 points behind them. But by the time the annual updates come out, when they had lots of defeats, this year, remember, they've beaten Canada 4 times, beaten Bangladesh twice, beaten Pakistan once. You know, they're valuable wins.
Yeah, same for Netherlands on that list as well, who are in this tri-series. Only 21 live games, so by May 1st next year, the rollover happens. They'll have some drop-off from 4 years ago, and all of a sudden, their next T20s that will be on the list will have a lot of weight. So that's the beauty of the World Cricket League 2 with the 50s this cycle. A lot of these teams will play T20s after, and teams will start to get crafty and know there's a lot of weight on those sort of tri-series T20 matches.
They should.
They should, definitely.
Yeah, that's a drag down from Mohammed. Curtin wanted to get more of it, but will only get the single.
It was 52 for 1 after 5. So in the last 4 overs, they've only been able to put on 4.1 overs now. They've only been able to put on 26. USA just pegging it back bit by bit.
The more I talk to the top level players going around the leagues and the national teams, these overs often decide the T20Is. Obviously the power play is critical. That's what everyone focuses on. Johnson goes inside out over extra with fluency, class, grace and elegance. He is so good to watch, isn't he? Stunning shot.
Yeah, for me that's probably shot of the day. It's over pitched, yes, but just leans on it, doesn't he? 1 bounce, 4. You mentioned if he's there by the end, Canada will be on a massive total.
He's a simple technique, doesn't he? He wants to. He's going to get it because Van Schalkwyk, very uncharacteristically, doesn't field cleanly. USA's fielding's been very good on this trip. Probably been outfielded by the Dutch, but not by much, and that's a big statement because the Netherlands, exemplary always in the field.
I completely agree. USA have been pretty tidy today as well so far.
You could just see him before that was bowled, sizing up the leg side, couldn't you? He just had a look and he saw there's a big gap. What is there, 40 yards between deep backward square and deep mid-wicket?
There's also a big gap in the air. I reckon if he had got a big piece of that, that would have been another Kookaburra lost. Maybe this is the moment they've just said it's time to flick the switch a little bit. Last 3 balls, plenty of intent. Well, they're going to go into 10 overs in a good, healthy position. From here, Lenny, 10 to go after this. 11's and over. Push that 190.
Well, the Dutch were busy putting egg in our face yesterday throughout the entire chase. I'm not going to get into too many predictions today. I deserve a Saturday off. Good running. That's very well weighted. And Drysdale is fielded very sloppily, and that's going to cost a 3rd. And Aaron Jones is very unhappy, as too is Mayank Patel. Good awareness from Johnson to get back for 3 and putting his teammate above him. Big smile on the broad-shouldered opener's face. It moves to, I think it's 88 for 1 now. We come up to commentary cam. There we are, just checking the score. Andrew Leonard here. Great to have you with me. Corey, how good was yesterday?
Yeah, it was a fantastic day just to kickstart the T20 leg. We had the kids here coming all around to watch some Friday afternoon cricket, and very exciting just to have USA and Canada playing in the Netherlands and having some supporters come down.
Tell me about those kids yesterday, because we didn't quite get to show them off how many of them there were. both Scotty Edwards and Max, we were catching up with them last night, Max today, they were saying that hasn't happened in Dutch cricket 5 years ago. There's been a complete change.
The 50 over World Cup that they qualified for, after that, it's almost felt like a bit of a revolution. They're recognised on the street. People want autographs, and I think some of the Dutch boys are a bit shy about that, but it is a beauty to it as well.
They're kind of national heroes now.
They've become national heroes in a funny way, but great to see so much good support, and great to see people rock up for a game here today where the Dutch aren't even playing.
Drysdale back into the attack and immediately dispatched for 4 more. It's 92 for 1. The youngster, Radkar Shrivastava, who was yet to see debut, he does the fielding down in front of the American team dugout. This is starting to get a bit messy for America.
Well, with 59 balls to go, you've got 9 wickets in hand, you've got 2 absolute beasts at the crease. It's party time. It's back your hand eye and try and get that score up to 200.
And I think you almost need to look at these last 10 overs and separate them into 2 halves, don't you? You need to say these are the 5 from this end, the City end. This is where you need to target. And again, if you're just tuning in, you're wondering why, there's a heavy breeze, 20 miles an hour, something like that, blowing down the ground over Curtin's kind of mid-on region. So anything he hits down that direction is going to travel a lot further, and you bring 4s and indeed many 6s into play. If they can have 5 big overs, almost target double-digit overs from that end, go okay from the other end, not just 180 on, there might be 200 on the cards.
I think 200 should be on the cards. We saw yesterday that, well, the Netherlands were scoring pretty freely, and they're scoring freely now. Johnson on 45, 1 stroke away from another national 50.
Big challenge as well for USA. Their pace bowling stock's significantly down on where they can be. Sarav Netravalkar on paternity leave, no Ali Khan due to injury, no Cameron Stevenson picked on this tour. So many good options not here. Bowls him, Drysdale gets his man, and it was that aggression from this end that Johnson targeted. He gets through, might have come off the pad, did it as well, but either way it's gone into the top of off, and it's relief for USA.
Yeah, massive wicket, it's full, it's straight, and it comes back a little bit, does kiss the pad on the way through, and well bowled, big wicket in the context of the game, and I like the smooth celebration, class.
First T20I wicket for Janoy Drysdale. It's a big one. That is a good delivery.
He's got a bit of pace about him.
Yeah, that's gone a long way off the surface. We saw a few yesterday, mainly Kyle Klein, get them to go off the surface. Maybe Johnson, did he get a tiny bit greedy trying to go over long on, if anything, but it's just such a good nut. And yeah, ultimately the furniture is rattled, but it doesn't take a lot away from Johnson's knock. He's played very nicely. They've wanted more than that. He's gone for 45, and Canada lose their second.
Yeah, big wicket in the context of the game. We know how dangerous Johnson can be, especially if he got another 6-7 overs there. Does offer up another opportunity for this middle order of Canada, who would love a few more runs. Harsh Thacker has come out at number 4. And, well, he's got a bit of a licence to get on with it. Canada's still in a very healthy position.
Yeah, 45 for Johnson off 35 balls, strike rate in and around 130. Amazing start to his T20I career. He's averaging the best part of 50, and now the challenge for Thacker is to try and find some T20I form that's been not quite there with the bat compared to his ODI numbers. Did have those 2 centuries earlier in the year in Dubai in the ODI format. There's something there, isn't there, with Janoy Drysdale? He's been he's maybe been the find of the tour for USA.
Yeah, Whippy looks like he's got a good snap of the wrist as well, and he's got some genuine pace, so fantastic figures for him at the moment. 1 for 14. Canada just try and, well, they don't want to lose any momentum. Yesterday, it was just a momentum struggle. Every time you thought, here they come, they lost a wicket. Here they come, lost a wicket. They don't want to lose a cluster here.
Yeah, you're spot on the money there. And that's where Curtin's experience is going to be key. Thacker career strike rate about 130 in T20I cricket. Nosh Kenjigay does enough. Don't know how he lost his feet. He's got the spikes on. Aaron Jones comes over and gives him a hug and has a laugh with him. Good fielder, isn't he, at backward point, Nosh Kenjigay?
He came charging in, lost his footing. Actually did very well to adjust to not give away the run.
See Curtin at the non-striker's end, just trying to keep his feet moving. These are small periods of the game where if he goes ... here, or even ... 1, keeps Curtin off strike, it just stifles that momentum. We were talking about the big overs from this end of the ground. it's been anything but. It's been a wicket taking over with very few going from it. Outstanding effort from Drysdale. USA, in the course of 1 over, have come right back storming into the contest. Very well bowled.
Yeah, sensational bowling. 1 for 14 for Drysdale off 3. Yesterday it was Curtin with 69 not out. He's got a bit of a job to do here still. We have a quick look at the table so far. Obviously a small sample piece yesterday, but the Dutch were very comprehensive, and I think the Netherlands yesterday probably was one of the more, I mean it in a respectful way, probably one of the more loose sort of bowling innings. There was a lot of extras in the field. They weren't amazing, but they still won quite comfortable.
Finally going to see the entrance of Harmeet Singh. Saw this a couple of times in the ODIs where he wasn't used till quite late and then he just bowled his allocation fully through. This guy is a world-class operator. I know he's new to international cricket, but you look at his pedigree, India under-19s, did play in the IPL for the Rajasthan Royals. He's 31, you think a spin bowler is kind of coming into their prime in and around that age. He's had a flying start to international cricket, not just with the ball but with the bat. Very handy runs at 7 and 8. The hero against Bangladesh, remember. And I think the reason they've avoided bringing him in till as far as now is because of the left-handed aspect of Curtin. Again, it's Drysdale they'll target to get the second, and he's going to be moved fielding position. Has to work on that if he's going to succeed for longer than a couple of tours at international cricket. His fielding's noticeably weaker than his teammates.
Yeah, he's been swapped out from deep backward square to 45 now. Never a nice feeling, but you are right, Lenny. You can't really carry weak links in the modern game.
I think he'll get 2 again here. Harsh Thacker. I don't think Curtin's happy with him because there was 2 on, there's no doubt. I think we've got another one in the wrong shirt there. That's Cheyenne Jahangir. But as anyone who follows American cricket knows, there's only one number 47. That's AK-47, Ali Khan. So what's happened to his shirt? Where's his shirt?
It has been a long tour.
Yeah.
It's been a long tour. A couple of shirts probably lost in the laundry.
Come on, lads. Get them into the sink at the hotel. Get the elbow grease out. Can't be playing an Ali Khan shirt, Cheyenne Jahangir. That's shocking. Not happy with that.
A little bit frustrated with that previous ball, actually. There was 2 on, and Thacker turned it down. And look, he's come to the crease. He can't really stop that momentum. He's 0 or 4 now. He's probably feeling the pinch. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of a loose stroke this ball.
I think it was a really poor piece of cricket. And again, it spoke about this at length in the ODIs. Canada have done all the 1%ers badly. The really small things that you don't see on a score sheet. You don't look at the scorecard at the end and go, okay, well, why is that? There was a definite 2 on there. It meant the matchup would have stayed Curtin to the left arm spinner. Instead, Harmeet Singh can just put it on a string. Might get a couple this time, he will. But all the little small things, they just haven't gone Canada's way on this tour.
They haven't gone their way so far, but right now, if they can have a good finish, a good 8 overs, the weather gods play nice to them, we don't get disturbed. It does look like it might be missing us, which is thankful as well. I'm very thankful for a full game. But they're still in a good position, despite some 1%ers missing. 98 for 2 is good. It's healthy.
Very, very clever bowler, isn't he, Harmeet Singh? Curtin will want the second here because he wants the strike, and he'll get it. So it's 7 from Singh's first, and this will be the first time you'll have seen Harmeet Singh. Look at him. He is furious. He is nothing if not passionate on the field. At times it gets the better of him. He can get himself into trouble with the umpires, and this time, well, Yasser Mohammad's getting an absolute spray, isn't he?
Oh, I was just about to say that the US obviously are pretty close friends, because there has been a few sprays to some of the outer ring fielding at the moment. They are not too pleased with each other. They've given away a couple of singles or doubles that they probably shouldn't have. 100 for 2 after 12, and a little bit of tension bubbling in this game.
He's no shortage of ability, Harmeet Singh. He's so talented. Mercurially talented, I'd actually say. Just sometimes his composure, we saw it a few times in the ODIs where, well, he was really pushing the line with the umpires, and all that does is put you in their bad books. Drysdale's going to complete his set of 4. Be really pleased with his efforts, won't they? Stuart Law was talking to him there just while they were warming up, and he said he he thinks that this Drysdale has huge potential, and because he's got so little cricket in his legs for 32.
I love this as well. Bowling him out now. I love this. A lot of teams let the opposition coast and then they bring them back at the end and the game's a bit gone. But bring him back now. If he happens to pick up another wicket or two here, I mean, 1 for 15 or 3.1 on what I think is a very good batting surface. He's been impressive today. He definitely gets it through a good click.
100 has come up in that previous over with that couple. Good powerful pull shot. He's going to get 4. It's nearly a similar dismissal to the one that Ryan Pathan had, but this time Mohammed's not on the edge of the circle. If he was, I think that would have been a catching opportunity. Instead, he's in trying to save the single, and Thacker gets it over his head.
Wasn't far away from Yasir Mohammed. He'll go back onto the ring now. Nice shot from Thacker. Stayed deep in the crease and got something to work with, a little bit back of a length. That might get him going. Supercomputer saying Canada 58%, but a long way to go in this game.
You see, it's going to be fascinating to see in 2 hours whether we're right or not. But this is again why I'm not sure batting first is an advantage. Canada don't really know, despite having played on this same pitch yesterday, they don't really know what they need to get to defend it. Because
what do you think? What do you think would be the right sort of score they should be aiming for here?
You look at the depth in America's batting. Their bowling, apart from their spinners, is their weakness at the moment. Van Schalkwyk. Okay, Drysdale's bowled well today, but their batting is their strength. Madank Patel, Andries House, Nitish Kumar is a class act. Aaron Jones, we saw his fireworks at the World Cup. Shayan Jahangir is a very dangerous player, hasn't really shown it in T20s yet. That's a Parapack top 5. And outside of Sad bin Safar and Kalim Sana, hasn't been much going right with the ball for Canada. I think they need 180. And even if they get to 180, I still think USA will come back in going, we can chase this.
Yep. So we've got 7 overs after this. A couple of big overs, maybe expected score. You can see a little XS on your screen there. He's expecting 171, but with 8 wickets in hand. We saw some fireworks in the back end of the innings for Canada yesterday.
Yeah,
that was a
21 off the final over.
It was a very positive sign to see that they do bat deep also, and players could come out and have a cameo.
You would like to think Ravinder Pal Singh has the pads on. Good diving stop from Jones. Extra cover.
From what I saw yesterday, look, it wasn't the most agricultural battering, but he was slog sweeping Paul Van Maker, and he was hitting it a long, long way. So if another over or 2 goes, might have me tempted to put him out at number 5. Did bat well. The last ball of the 13th. The last ball of Drysdale's spell here, 1 for 21. I think irrespective of what happens to this delivery, he's done a very good job today.
Yeah, what a T20I debut. Fantastic to see. So many leagues in and around New York and New Jersey. And they'll be watching on proudly. He's going to finish. Well, nearly creating a run-out chance too. I think Kenjige thought this was out. And good backing up by Mohammed in the deep means it'll be a dot ball to finish out Drysdale's spell. 1 for 21. You will take that every day of the week, particularly on a good deck. Now, who's got the pads on? Let's get a look here. Aaron Johnson's having a cup of tea. Probably a little bit disappointed.
Can you spot Ravinder Pal Singh anywhere?
There's one under the helmet there. Is that him
might
at
be
the
him.
bottom?
I'd be very tempted now with 7 overs to go to throw him up in the order.
Hayligger's behind Johnson there, I think, in the wide brim floppy. Hayligger hits it big straight. Ravinder Pal Singh's a bit more leg side dominant, isn't he? But I wouldn't say it's a happy Canadian bench, but they know they're in the game.
Well, they're definitely in it. They've got that platform. They don't want to waste it. Look, if you go at 10 and over from here, 7 overs to go, you're looking at that 167, 177 region. I think they want more than that, to be honest. I think your 180 call is correct. I think minimum 180.
If they don't get to that, I'm not sure they have enough. And Curtin is going to be so important. Thacker started a little slowly, just the 1 boundary, and he's got 9 off 11. So now he's in. You can't have overs with less than 7 or 8 off them, and you need most of your overs to be double-digit ones. Amazing the faith that Patel shows in Harmeet Singh. I think he'll bowl 4 on the bounce here. Doesn't happen much in modern T20 game.
I was going to say, can you think of many other spinners that are consistent enough to bowl 4 at the back end consecutively from one end to close?
Rashid Khan did it for quite a while, but he doesn't do it anymore. Zampa went through a phase of it, but yeah, look, it's a rarity, and it just shows that he's got a simple approach to his bowling. Watch, it's just 1, 2, 3 steps up into the bound. But his accuracy, if you watch him bowl before the game, what they'll do, all teams, whether it's spinners or seamers, they'll put out the cones or these little kind of strips to indicate the length that you want to hit. And if he's just bowling to a baseball mitt with a coach, the accuracy it's incredible. He just doesn't miss.
Bit of a metronome.
Yeah, and then the variety that he provides, you see the different trajectories, and some of the balls he's trying to side spin, some of the balls he's trying to dart on, and he can spear them in at 60 miles an hour. He can go really slow, 46, 48 miles an hour. So he is a huge asset. I think this Cricket World Cup League 2 cycle, we saw Bernard Schultz, the outstanding left arm spinner, in at the last one for Namibia. Be in no way surprised if it's Harmeet Singh in this one.
It's a lovely luxury to have as a captain as well, being able to turn to your spinner at the back end and offer up something different. Not many teams do it. He started well in his spell here.
It's a lovely stroke. Now, Jesse Singh's a bit slow off the mark, but does get around to cut it off in front of the hospitality tent. It's a bit less full today. That'll be rocking tomorrow, will it, Corey?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. It's a lovely Sunday in the Netherlands, and a good 2 there. Thacker a little bit more alive to turn and go.
Reminder as well, if you are watching from the Netherlands, and do let us know where you're watching in the YouTube chat. We'll get to some of those comments now. Free entry. Come and see some of the World Cup stars. Absolutely free of charge. We'll get back for 2. Singh has to do the fielding himself. 14 bowled. It is 116 for 2.
Yeah, well, if you are in the area or living in the Netherlands, just down to Utrecht, sunny Kampong. A bit cloudy Kampong today, but we do have another game tomorrow. Obviously, Netherlands playing USA, but if you are around the area, it'd be good to come down and enjoy some cricket. Not very often you get to see some World Cup superstars playing on Dutch soil.
Yeah, and completely free in, so just come on in and enjoy it, and we'd love to see you here. The atmosphere yesterday was lovely. It's actually an interesting graph in this instance, because it shows that the peak run rate that they achieved, current is 8.29, but they were up over 10 and over at some phases of this innings, and it's just kind of meandered along since then.
Yeah, it's time to go. We've got 36 balls remaining, 2 a ball, 72 more on the board. It would be pretty impressive if they can do that. They'll be wanting to do that as well.
Now, I would suspect, with due respect to Van Schalkwyk and to Jesse Singh, they will be the overs remaining, where Canada will be thinking, okay, we've got to find a way to have a go at these guys and score very quickly, hitting with the wind down the ground. Now, it can be risk and reward, because long off and long on are out. But I think the time for hanging around is well and truly up with 6 overs remaining. Everything must go pretty much from now.
Yeah, it's sort of the deep in the box stuff now, and try and accelerate this innings to get it up to that 180, which you and I think will be something that they can defend. They've got the platform, they won the toss, they batted first, they've applied themselves pretty well here, Canada. Now need to make sure they have that good finish. Still some batting to come as well. Obviously with the wind down the ground, thirds in the ring, backward point in the ring, fine leg in the ring and cover. So a pretty stock standard T20 field here. Nothing too fancy from USA.
Now he is going to hit with the wind. Has he got enough of it? Yes, he has. If that's at the other end, it's out. At this end of the ground, it's 6. Good identification of the conditions from Nicholas Curtin and good execution of the stroke. Yep. Just enough.
Yeah, well weighted, because it was a off-speed delivery into the surface, and he just held his stroke a little bit. Gets enough wood on it, and, well, staring down the barrel potentially of back-to-back T20I 50s here.
Fans watching on from Luxembourg.
From beautiful part of the world.
From Mexico, from Canada, from USA. As this one's edged over the offside. He'll want to. Thacker's got to go. And the throw goes, well, nowhere, right down the middle. You're not going to run him out there. And big shout out to several viewers from, well, my second home, from Nepal. So Sikander Sahani. Big namaste too to Big Beck Pokharel. And I am so looking forward to getting back out to Nepal. I haven't been there since April.
You must be feeling a bit
I
sick,
am.
surely.
I'm feeling homesick.
We can watch some YouTube videos.
Okay,
later. Make you
okay.
feel a bit
That's a
better.
deal. That's a deal. Got to get you out there at some point, Corey. I think you'd love it.
From all reports, it sounds like a cricket-mad country, and wherever the cricket is, I tend to go. So I'm sure one day I'll get myself out there. Look forward to that.
Yeah, nice to hear from Hassan Mahmood watching on. From, where's he watching from? Doesn't say. Remember, tell us where you're watching from so we know where you're watching on. Rahul Biwas. Nice to hear from Nirab. From Wayne. From Trip Denny. From fan in Luxembourg who came up to watch a full ODI last week. Luxembourg's not far, is it?
No, not far at all. Beautiful little country.
Over the offside, but doesn't get it, and even with the wind it won't carry down to long off.
Have you had much time during your little European excursions? Have you been able to go to some neighbouring countries like a little Belgium trip or Luxembourg or Germany?
Flew into Belgium, actually got the train up just because of the
Okay.
way the flights worked out, which was a lovely journey. Beautiful, really. And there's probably not, Dutch and Belgian people will give out to me here, but there doesn't seem to be much of a difference. You know, it's not like there's a, as you cross a border, it's not like, oh, everything looks different right now. There's a similarity to the vistas.
Yeah, the signs all of a sudden change a little bit in some of the road rules, but not too much.
But just everything's still very flat. You know, you're in the low country still, aren't you? And they're obviously great neighbours. 15 ball, 127 for 2. Van Schalkveld kind of gets away with that over, given the maximum minute. Every time Canada threaten to get going, they just have their momentum stifled.
Well, this is a little bit of what's coming up around the corner. If you are tuning into the ECN for the first time, we do stream more than 1,500 games a year. Currently, we're in Italy and Rome as well for the Meltor Shield, which is some of the best women in the continent coming up against each other. And we're currently also doing the Tri-Series, obviously. Around the corner, there's more cricket in Austria, Croatia, Greece, and then the big one at the bottom, the European Cricket Championship. More than 30 teams going to Malaga in Spain, playing in a T10 bonanza of cricket, and it's all to grow the game, show the depth of European cricket. So if you are a first-time viewer, tune in.
And subscribe.
Oh, absolutely.
Press the button.
Press the button.
It costs you nothing. Literally, it's a click of the button, and all it does is just remind you a bit more as to when the games are on. If you're enjoying the action, there's 4,800 concurrently watching right now. That's just on ECN. There'll be more watching on Willow TV. So if you are enjoying the action, big shout out to Phil Melky as well, who's watching on Willow TV. That's one of the USA super fans who flew over with his wife and his son all the way from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, brilliant.
For 2 of the ODIs.
Oh, I love that.
Had the USA top on.
Well, it's a good little trip to have, isn't it?
Great support. Did a bit of cultural activities on the day off. Nice to hear from Andy Haas, who's watching on from a sunny mid-Wales, having a great afternoon. Croeso I Cymru. Welcome to Wales, that means.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Croeso I Cymru. I went to college in Cardiff. God,
Did you really?
Oh, I loved Wales.
That explains a lot, Lenny.
It was, there was, okay, college was the side attraction to the main event. It is a great city. Harmeet Singh just continuing to cause problems. Direct hit, but Thacker is quick, so he'll get home. Good piece of fielding. That was Nitish Kumar, I think. There is a subfielder on. The youngster, Utkar Shrivastava, is on for... Trying to get a look as to who it is. Might be Andres House who's off. I'm not sure why. It is House. Well, House is at short third, isn't he? It'll be a wide. Might be Yasir Mohammed. Oh no, he's out at deep backward point. Someone's off.
Someone's
not sure. Not sure who.
We'll bring it to you soon.
Curtin has hit that like a bullet from a gun, but Jesse Singh will come around and does really well. Keeps it to a single.
Yeah, clever bowling from the left arm tweaker here. That was a lot flatter, a lot quicker.
It's Janoy Drysdale.
There you go.
Sorry.
That's how you do it. You bowl your 4. Pretty happy with your debut. Hit the showers.
And when you bat 11, it's not
That's
like
your day
it's
done.
not like you need to get back out there. Some umpires are very strict on that, aren't they?
Teams sort of still a bit sneaky with that,
Yeah,
aren't they?
and
Every team is.
Other umpires kind of, yeah, go on. You're okay. It's going to angle down the leg side. It'll be a leg by. There's the youngster. He's 17 years of age, Utkar Shrivastava.
Must have a good head on his shoulders. 17 to be out there playing on such a big stage.
Did really well at the Under-19 World Cup. He's got another one to come too. If USA can qualify, they'll have to get past Canada et al. In the North America region. And Yeah, he took a catch. It was one of the moments of the ODI series for me. Off Shadley Van Schalkwyk. Held it really well at extra cover when he was on as a sub fielder. And he doesn't look out of place, which you obviously can't judge him on his batting or his bowling, but good effort to be 17. He looks even less than that, being honest, and not be out of place out there. 16 bowled, 134 for 2.
I just want to touch on what a fantastic over from Harmeet Singh. Left arm off spinner. You got a left-handed batter out there. Went for 7. He's just crafty, isn't he? 134
very clever
for 2.
Very, very clever. And Trip Denny, who's one of the ECN admin subscribers, he says we're at 412,000 subscribers now. What's going to happen when you get to the 500,000 mark? Vinny Sandu will have something planned, won't he?
Boy, oh boy. Hopefully it's a week off work for Vinny. He probably deserves it at that stage, but great to have so many supporters. We've come such a long way. I remember where it started 5 years ago and doing an ECL in Malaga with club teams. If you had told people then, 5 years later, we're going to be televising USA versus Canada T20I.
Yep. Official T20I.
I honestly think people would say, okay,
no chance.
Pass us back the bottle. You've had too many. So it's great that we've grown so much. And right now, we're actually streaming or showing cricket in Rome and in Malta. So we've got 3 concurrent series.
Rome, Malta, Netherlands. Fantastic.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. I will say as well, one of the kind of the great developments of it has been that kind of evolution from just T10 cricket on artificials, with due respect to it, to actually showing top level cricket now, and being able to kind of bring that all in as part of the one hybrid network. Yeah,
I think obviously that we want to promote T10 because that's sort of the baby, but it is also very important to branch out and bring
definitely
some of this good cricket. I love that the KNCB have seemed to have partnered up with the ECN a bit. I know they went to England for the first time this year, and I'm pretty sure, I can't give too much away, but I think next year you might see us in other recognised countries like Scotland and Ireland.
When Irish eyes are smiling.
You'll be there doing a series in Ireland soon.
Vinny will twist my I'll be otherwise attached. I'll be somewhere else. Bit of sunshine now, and there are some dark clouds in the distance. The talk was of rain in and around 6 o'clock. It's 5:15 local time. There's 4 overs remaining. Jesse Singh comes back into the attack and bowls Nicholas Curtin, who has looked to target Singh as we thought he might, but Singh so often holds his nerve, and you've got to give great credit to him. He's such a workhorse. He's had a bad blow to his ankle. He's battled through it, and he's got the big wicket of the Canadian captain.
Very well bowled. I always say hit the top of the stumps, top of the bail length, always sort of in between. He does get rewarded, so it does end an enterprising innings from the Canadian captain. He'll be disappointed not to cash in these last sort of few overs. Just USA keeping Canada under wraps a little bit.
Yeah, and 2 very similar innings have now ended. Aaron Johnson made 45 off 35. Curtin falls for 44 off 32. He looks a bit disappointed with himself, doesn't he? I don't think you can question the shot or the choice to attack Singh. You almost had to. These 2 overs, 17 and 19, they need not just big overs, they need massive overs. 15, 20 run overs ideally.
They do. It looks like Mover's come out. Would have been tempted maybe for a little bit of a change, but they've backed Mover here. Very talented batter in his own right.
This is such a strange call. Ravinder Pal Singh struck it over 200 yesterday. Dylan Hayliger hits as big a ball as you'll see in the lower middle order in associate cricket. And you're going to a guy who has had a fantastic series with the gloves. He's a wonderful ODI player. I'm sure he can make a good T20I player in due course. His career strike rate in this format, 105. It's a complete misread of the situation. I think it's a misread at the toss. I think it's another tactical misstep. They might only be 1%ers, but you stack them all up over and over again. This is why Canada aren't winning games on this tour. Stop ball.
I can understand what you're saying here. Do you think that this is one of those scenarios where they've come up with their batting order and they're sort of not being flexible enough, not living in the moment enough and being a bit rigid? Because it is a peculiar option. Obviously, Mover's crafty enough and got some skills, but after watching what Ravinder Pal Singh did yesterday to the Netherlands, I think I'd be a bit twitchy to get him out there if I was the coach.
It really, this one, of all the decisions we've seen, so there's who is ready to come. We'll come back to that in a second after this ball. Back-to-back dots.
Well, I can see a little bit of red mist coming off your head at the moment, but yeah, these are the small things that can determine matches at this level.
So there is Ravinder Pal Singh. That's Parveen Kumar actually standing up there. Where's Ravinder Pal Singh? Why has he not got the pads on? He might be in behind the team analyst Shah there. Dylan Hayliger has the pads on. But I cannot believe what we're seeing here. And look, Mova might end up with 30 off 10, and for Canada's sake, you hope he does that. It's just, You have to be able to identify these things. He will get off the mark with a single. If Drysdale can pick up cleanly, he does. They're taking on the throw. Oh, complete calamity. Oh, dear. It's good night, Irene. It's not even the most calamitous run out we've seen on this tour. And now there's a decision to be made between Rizwan Akram as to who it's going to be. Will it be Thacker or will it be Mova? What have we just witnessed?
Oh, and I tell you what, they've given each other a bit of a spray as well. The wheels falling off here for Canada. He was ball watching a little bit. He was called through, didn't want it. Mova did. Let's have a close look. Well, this is... Oh, who's out?
I think it's the right decision from Rizwan Akram. Wait for the... You see, Mova's in now. The crease now. Bails off, and it's actually a great decision, isn't it?
Well, good from Rizwan Akram, who was watching, and... yeah, Mova is in the crease, and they have given each other an almighty spray. And there comes the old bat throw. I'm sure there's a couple of games added on top of that.
What have we just hit? That is a calamity.
Oh, yeah, that hurts. To be fair to Mova, I'll be fair to Mova. He wanted the two. It was his call. He's going to the danger end. His partner was ball watching a little bit there. Oh boy, no one likes to see it. Don't mind a good old bat throw though. Takes me back.
Well, Mova's going to have to show great strength of character here now. And he's hooked this away. It's Jahangir out there who does enough, not particularly athletically, but might have been just a little bit of a damper patch out there. All of a sudden, after the bit of sun, it is starting to look darker across that way. Oh, Canada, or oh, Canada, if you will.
Yeah,
oh, Canada.
Yeah, I got ya. Not bad, Lenny. Not bad. I'm feeling for him a little bit here. These little things just... It's been a long tour. Desperate for a win. They really are. Look, they're still in a decent enough position, but they really need a good last 19 balls here.
Nicely driven, but there's protection at long on. So it is Ravinder Pal Singh who's come in at number 6. Still no Hayligger. He's had the pads on. He must have pad rash. He's had the pads on for 10 overs. And... we saw it, you won't have seen it during the ODIs. I'm gonna pull it up and show it to you here. We won't be able to bring it onto the TV. I'm just going to show my co-commentator. There was a run out that was worse than this.
Oh no!
in the ODI series, and just a reminder, there was a single off that ball from Mova, and I'm not sure that it has been credited now. So credit to the scorers for being, because you can get very confused over those ones. But let me see if I can find you this run out. It was between Cheyenne Jahangir and Manan Patel, the captain. This was against the Netherlands. So it was a delivery from Kyle Klein that hit into the pad. There's a big appeal from Edwards, the keeper, who picked the ball up, and Klein. The decision was correct, not out. And then Jahangir has just not noticed the ball's in Scott Edwards' hands, he's barely even had to run into the stumps, take the bails off, and Jahangir committed Harry-Kiri.
Oh boy, that's criminal. I've not seen that one.
So
I'm sure Scott Edwards enjoyed getting a cheeky run out to his little statistics.
In the semblance of trying to work out what happened, it turns out that they reckon Scott Edwards is appealing with both hands open, doing nothing wrong with the ball in his hands.
Well, he never re-entered his crease, so the ball's still live for me.
100%, but he's got bright white gloves on. And the
Okay.
ball was probably somewhat camouflaged. I think he thought it had gone down to deep third, the batter, Cheyenne Jahangir. He went walkies out of his crease, and I still think that run out from the ODIs was more calamitous than this one. Both of them absolute howlers. And you're just gifting the opposition a wicket. You can't afford to do that. The momentum has been sucked out of this first innings from Canada.
Yeah, it does feel like it's been sucked out, but look, I'm going to give him a little bit of a chance here. I think Ravinder Pal Singh coming in. Mova's got talent. Look, Lenny, still 139 for 4. It's not disastrous, is it? They can still have a good 16 balls here. Finish on a high.
Edged away, that's going to help.
You need a bit of luck in this format, and that does help. So that'll be 4 more to the total.
Don't think Harmeet Singh can quite believe it. He's been all over all the batters he's bowled to. Fair play to Mova. He is playing aggressive shots. He really is. Well, we mentioned Vinny Sandhu a few moments ago. And surprise, surprise, he's watching. He might not be listening. He's probably commentating and watching. But he adds to our own commentary. He says, the bat throw score, power 7, artistic impression 5. In the leg side this time, and you see fine leg, very fine. That's Andries House, who will open the batting most likely for USA. Wait till you see this guy back, Corey.
Yeah, I'm very excited. He's seen a lot on TV before, but up close and personal.
You cannot bowl short to him.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
He will murder you.
I like this match up here. I'm backing Ravinder Paul Singh to get one out the screws over mid-wicket.
Yeah, it's always where he's going to target, isn't it? He loves the leg side. Disappointment for me has been the lack of Yasir Mohammed used. USA have been, there's been not even a sense of them experimenting on this trip. So Taja Mukamala hasn't played a game. The young 17-year-old hasn't played a game. Yasir Mohammed's only really playing because Stephen Taylor's injured today. This comes off at top edge, going to go towards Andries House, who won't be able to drag it in. Will be a couple of runs to the total. They've been ruthless, haven't they? They want to win every game. I know they've only won 2 of the 4 ODIs, but they could have won all 4 of them.
That means a lot. It's international cricket at the end of the day, and if you've got your best 11 and you're a coach and you think my best 11 needs to always be out there, fair enough, as well as we do complete another over. So we've got 12 balls left. Canada slowing down at the wrong end here. 147 for 4. Take a little look at the worm, and, well, just steady. Just steady. They got up to 10s early, have been sort of restricted to around those 8s, and haven't really had that big over in the middle.
It's never gone up again, has it? And that's
struggled.
because there hasn't been a single big over. There just hasn't.
To be fair to USA, they've just sort of stuck with it, and they did pick up the big wickets at the right time. They got Johnson out at a time where if he kept going, you're looking at something big, and also with the skipper removing him at the right time.
But the second half, we spoke about 88 for 1 being a great platform, and those 5 overs from the far end being massive. The overs have gone for 5, 7, 7, 9, 11, 7. There just hasn't been any momentum. Getting very dark across to our... I think that's the west, isn't it? Over that direction. Where's this one gone? Is this out? Has it come off the bat? We're going to wait for the umpire, who's saying not out. He's saying it's off the... Well, it could be off the arm, and he's showing him. Great decision. Given his leg buys, it will be a leg buy. He looks in a lot of pain, doesn't he? Let's get another look at this.
Well, he looks in a lot of pain. It could be very good foxing. One of the two. Let's have a closer look. Like it kissed the wicket. Bit of lift. Very hard from behind to know.
I think it is the forearm, isn't it? Which is almost, unless you're wearing an arm guard, but I think it might be the back forearm. It's such a rare place to get hit.
That's sort of the way he plays. He has that sort of hoik to the leg side, and he's threw the shot too early. And that'll be his throwing arm as well a little bit later. That's painful.
Well, Manak Patel is smiling. I'm not sure Ravinder Pal Singh is. You get a great look at it here. I think he's through the shot, isn't he? And it's hit the back, kind of elbowy forearm. That's a nasty blow. We play with a very hard white leather cricket ball here. Great decision from the umpire. That's outstanding from Nitin Bhathi to know that it wasn't glove or bat, to give it as a leg by, and to ignore the appeals of USA.
Very good at officiating, because USA went up as 1. They went as really believed that was a bit of glove on the way through. So I wouldn't be surprised if that swells up. He might not be able to throw in a few minutes. It'll be pure adrenaline trying to take him through, but that hurts.
You can already see a bit of a lump there, can't you? It's before the elbow. It's the very top of the forearm.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but there is some huge black clouds starting to roll over. And look, Lenny, you know I've lived in the Netherlands for a while. I can tell a cloud that does not look good. Those first 5 overs in the second innings could determine this match.
That's if they get to the 5 over mark. Hit down the ground, long on in place.
Well, we might see some posturing in the second innings. We might see one of those scenarios. Let's say that USA are miles ahead. Canada might be slowing that clock down and not racing through the 5 overs. So plenty of drama to come this afternoon. 150
comes up in the 19th over. I actually think in a funny way it might bring Canada into the game. You'll always think that the DLS chase plays to the favour of the chasing side. That's when they know what they need to do. In a case like this where we might get 5, 6, 7 overs in, and then when the rain comes we might not get back out. If Kalim Sandhu gets a couple early, it's going to really drastically change the DLS par. And where's this gone? Miles up. Aaron Jones settles underneath it and holds on. That's very well judged. I feel a bit sorry for Ravinder Pal Singh. He was held back further than he should have been. The crowd love Aaron Jones, I give him a big cheer for taking that catch. And Jesse Singh, what a comeback spell. Smashed around the ground in his first two. He's come back and he's found 2 wickets.
Yeah, well bowled. A nice safe catch in the dark clouds that are starting to come over the top. Difficult stay at the crease there for Singh. Cops one on the forearm and now he has to go back. Not a pleasant time at all. It was much nicer yesterday. And, well, there is a bit of rain already starting to sort of fall. So plenty going on out here in Utrecht. And we've got a good game on our hands. I hope it isn't spoiled because it does sort of feel like it could go either way still.
Well, we've spoken a lot about big hitters of a cricket ball across the associate game. We mainly spoke about ones at the top of the order. And Dylan Hayligger gets it. Not many get it further. He only really hits to one part of the ground as well, and it's straight down the ground. If you think of an area from a wide long on to sort of a deep extra cover, that's the only area he will tend to target. Singh will know that, and Hayligger will hit with the wind from this end of the ground. Exactly where he goes, but will just be a single. Mid-off is up in the circle. It's Nitish Kumar. Be interesting to see where he will bat today.
A quick question for you, because just in the background I'm hearing a little bit of thunder and lightning. It's coming over the backside there. What is the sort of ruling on that? How
8 miles.
8 miles, is it?
Yeah.
I've just watched Rizwan Akram just on the radio to his colleague. You can hear it out back through the effects mic. So this is interesting stages, and the grounds crew are getting ready. Not good signs for this game.
Yeah, you would really wish that the forecast is not right. You would wish that we can at least get 5 overs in the second innings to get a result. A reminder that if we don't get to the 5 over marker in that second innings, we will not have a result. There is still the chance to get there. You can see how dark the clouds are though, and the thunder and lightning just adds to the drama.
We could have been all wrong. Nicholas Curtin might be the smartest captain in world cricket if they don't get on for the second innings. Have a nice little bat and hit the sheds, boys. So we could be all wrong. So it is looking pretty gloomy.
Not convinced by the that and the supercomputers reading this game. It says 50-50. I think USA well ahead at the moment. Going to need something special in these last 6. Singh, what a comeback from him. He had 2 overs, none for 24. His last 2 overs, he picks up 2 for 7. And it's 152 for 5. Canada finding a way to get into trouble. That's not the part of the ground that there's issues with. This lovely blue sky is going away from us, where the weather comes from. It is looking dark, gloomy, it's humid, there's a bit of thunder and lightning in the air.
Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but just this summer in the Netherlands it's been uncharacteristically wet, and we've had a lot of interrupted games in the sort of domestic season and national teams as well, so fingers crossed that it's not too bad and we get away with it. So we've got 6 balls to go in the very first innings. Mover's going to be on strike, and well, Canada, they'll minimum want about 13 or 14 off it. Maybe even 20 if they can get on a bit of a heat up.
Van Schalkwyk, here he is. Hit down the ground, not out of the middle. Nitish Kumar is very fit and he'll hunt this one down. He'll keep it to a couple. Credit to Mova for actually continuing. I could have rattled him really, couldn't it? He was involved in as calamitous a run out as you can imagine. Just hasn't quite been able to find the power or the timing. Need two or three big ones. Leg side.
Yeah, I think you're going deep in the box and trying to elevate it to that leg side here.
He's going to do the opposite and try and use the pace and the wind and reverse scoop it. Probably a pretty low percentage shot in terms of how many times he'll execute that.
Low percentage shot, but I do get the thought process. Thirds in the ring with the breeze. If he does get bat on that, we're all sitting here and going, oh, what a fantastic shot. So small margins, clever bowling. Really, the last 5 overs have been all Team USA at the moment.
Yeah, they've come back, they've shown their class, haven't they? Shown where they got to the Super 8 of that World Cup. He's going to hit one-handed and hit more than well enough to get it for 6 and taken in the crowd. I think it's one of the ground staff team.
Yeah, that's Pierre Jacot, plays out here at Campon Cricket Club. He very good cricketer, right arm off spinner, and well, all-round good guy. And that's a very safe catch from Pierre.
Did you see the one yesterday in the Test match?
No, with the beer in hand?
Oh,
sensational.
Absolute beauty. 160 comes up. Now they need 2 more of those. Can they get up to 170? 3 deliveries to do it. Lova beaten by one that's probably a cutter into the surface.
Just quickly, how dark has it gotten around the ground? There's another one into the arm. We're going to have the physio run on again. But it's gotten very, very dark at the ground as well. Can't be easy for the fielders and the batters out there.
These delays are, if anything,
probably hurting
the
game.
Might be hurting the game, the potential of a game. I think this one is the bicep this time.
What is it with the magic spray? What does the magic spray actually do?
Just helps you, doesn't it?
Is it a placebo effect?
No, definitely. It numbs everything. Get the deep heater, the magic spray is the cold spray.
I'm not a big believer in the magic spray. Look, he's all of a sudden, any human, they get sprayed and they go, oh, I'm good to go again.
Exactly. So it works. That's why. So 161 for 5. 2 deliveries left. Where is this contest going? If you want a sense as to how dark and gloomy it is, we see over to our right, not sure if our camera guys will be able to pick it up, the electronic scoreboard all of a sudden is brightly showing up.
It is extremely dark.
It's illuminating the day.
I'm looking forward to you riding home on that bike I gave you last night. So good luck, Lenny. Welcome to Holland. You've got to push through the rain sometimes.
I think the bike's going to stay in the market. Now, Hayligger, I told you it's a big one. Does he hit it big enough? Singh is out there, takes the catch. And some of the fans are saying 6, and so too now is Jesse Singh. He's just stood on the rope. You've got to admire his integrity and his honour, and the spirit of cricket shines here. He could have claimed that. He doesn't. Big moment in the match.
Yeah, not easy to claim when you've got 100 fans standing behind you saying 6, 6, 6. He's just trod on the rope there, and some eagle-eyed fans let him know straight away. And, well, he didn't really go up to celebrate or anything like that, so fair enough. Well done, Jesse.
Got it into finish with 1 for 44. Canada 169 for 5. Be 170 to win. Is it enough?
Quick answer, no, but you never know if you take early wickets. It was pretty close there. Fair appeal, but good umpiring again from Nitin Bharti. I think him and Rizwan Akram have done a fantastic job. Overall, I think Canada are probably 15 to 20 short of where they should have been. But hey, look, they've won the toss. They've put the runs on the board. The covers are now being rushed on. So we're going to be in an interesting circumstance. It could be a 5-over bonanza.
That could be a precautionary step.
It's a precautionary step, but
there isn't actually any rain yet, but the umpires are going to have a long look at things. There's a big smile on Hayligger's face. He loves going about his business in the field. 169 is what Canada have got to. It could have been much more. Let's get a look at the best of this first innings. Kenjigay, he opened up the bowling, and Johnson took an early liking to him. It wasn't necessarily the kind of trademark Aaron Johnson innings with big hits all the way throughout it, but he still found 3 4s and 3 6s, and he scored 45. He found a little bit of alliance with Ryan Pathan at first, and then that key second wicket partnership with Nicholas Curtin. That was probably the best one of the innings.
Yeah, it was the best one of the innings. These two batted really well together. There were some nice shots, and that was a fantastic catch to actually break the partnerships that were sort of blossoming at the top order. Overall, though, a pleasure to watch Johnson when he's in full flight. We were talking about the game on the left of our screen, the Zami game. They had some kookaburras flying around, and that reverse sweep was potentially shot of the innings.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. David Warner, eat your heart out, Nicholas Curtin. What a stroke. Some lovely free-flowing strokes from Johnson continued before he was cleaned up by probably the delivery of the day, one that nipped back in off the surface. Johnson was devastated to see the stumps rattled. Curtin hit 2 6s in his innings. That was the second one of them, just enough to get it over the head of long on before Jesse Singh. In his second spell, his comeback spell, he was exceptional. He ended up picking up the 2 wickets, and here's the run out. Well, what happened here?
Yeah, there's a bit of yes, no, maybe, and you can see the frustration just pouring out for Canada. And you've been talking about these 1%ers the whole series. And, well, the famous bat throw wasn't the nicest thing you'll ever see, but it happens.
Yeah, bat throw. Aaron Jones then took a catch. There was all sorts going on out there. And then a one-handed 6 and 1 that ended up right on the rope too. Great catch, held by the ground staff. And this one, Jesse Singh, he tried to hold on. All he could do was trot on the rope to end up with a maximum. The game, well, it's in the balance. But if anything, USA might be the happier of the two sides at the halfway stage. 169 for 5, the score. And we're going to be back in 10 minutes. A restart is going to be at 5:46 local time. But what's going on in the background here, Corey?
Well, we've got 10 minutes or 8 minutes roughly till they're going to be back out there, and it's going to be very interesting because are Canada going to race through the overs to try and make a game of this? And this is why it's interesting why they decide to bat first, because we're going to have DLS definitely come into this game, if you ask me. Quick recap of the scorecard: 45 and 44 for Johnson and Curtin. Those two stood out. Look, Mova, we were surprised to see him come in, but he does do somewhat of a job. 22 off 15, and 18 extras help that total get to 169 for 5.
Poor old Parveen Kumar, not needed with the bat brought into the team, not needed. There is a bit of chance, a bit of hope. I just had a look outside the tent. Might just be blowing by us. I think we might have a bit more cricket in this second innings than you might think. There's the bowlers, 6 of them used. I was a bit surprised to see only the 2 for Kenjige and Yasser Mohammed. Panchkalkfake was expensive, but in fairness to Jesse Singh, the way in which he fought back, that was exceptional. The pick of the bowlers for me, Janoy Drysdale.
Yeah, he looked good, didn't he, with some genuine pace. And even though Harmeet Singh gets 4 overs, none for 32, to bowl 4 consecutively in the last 10, such a crafty cricketer, lovely watching him live. And I think USA, they'll go into this second half with their noses ahead.
170 is going to be the target. Do not go anywhere too far. Even if we don't come back out to play at the start of the second innings, we'll come on air with an update for you in about 7 or 8 minutes time. That will be at 5:45 p.m. local time. We'll be back with all the action if we have it. Don't go anywhere. Really appreciate you joining us. We'll see you soon. Well, welcome back here to the Kampong playing grounds. You can see,
Oh, no.
sadly,
Oh, no.
it's not good news, is it? And we've got to give great tribute to the ground staff, the volunteers from the club who are out there right now battling. This is torrential.
Oh, a lot of the people out there at the mill are close friends of mine, and this is torrential rain. Credit to the ground staff, the ground crew. People are running left, right and centre. You could just see the clouds coming, and we're talking about low-lying clouds, and there's going to be some hot showers needed after, but this is disastrous rain.
They're having a bit of fun out there. It's all very jocular amongst the crew. The good news is the thunder and lightning seem to have disappeared, but that has just precipitated what has been a thunderous downpour in terms of rain. We're not going to write it off yet. We've got 30 minutes of grace time in terms of being allowed to use 30 minutes before we lose any overs, and there is a little bit of bright sky miles behind this thunderstorm.
I think my worry would be, Lenny, is the amount of rain we're about to cop, because obviously we need the outfield. Right, look, ever the optimist, it would be nice, but boy, this is just sort of, the Dutch summer has been wild with the weather. It really has.
I think that's our other view, sadly. The reason I think they've got the team, and I want to thank our incredible Spring Media production team who are battling out there in the conditions themselves. What we're going to do is we're going to come off air. We will give you every update we can as soon as we have it. We have 30 minutes grace time, so that's from the proposed restart time, which was 1 minute ago, 5:46 local time. We won't start losing overs until 6:16 p.m. We can play as little as a 5-over game, so that could be as late as, let's say, something along the lines of maybe 7:15, 7:20, maybe even 7:25 local time. But the problem is we're getting some very heavy rain. The ground staff here, you can't see them. There's 20 of them out there, are doing an amazing job. Squares fully covered, run-ups being covered now. Pitch itself looks fine. If this stops, we'll have a chance. If it keeps going, we're going to have no chance at all. And I guess USA, probably at most, we will see a 5-over chase.
Yeah, massive credit to what you and I are looking up at and watching. There's 20 people out there doing their best to save this game, and this is unbelievable amount of water. So fingers crossed we can give you some good news soon, but a huge credit to Kampong and KNCB right now for what I'm witnessing right now is not pleasant, and there is people out there just going through the rain to try and turn this into a game with a lot of lightning and thunder around. So tough scenes after the first 20 overs, massive disappointment, and yeah, welcome to Netherlands. This is what's going on tomorrow. The British Irish and Knights are taking on Team Europe. Match 6, 7, 8, 9.
The Roses. British Irish Roses.
Yeah, not Roses, the women version. And did see the first 2 games today. I don't know the update scores, but Team Europe were up 2-0 in that series.
Team Europe up 2-0. Come on, guys, get it back together. What's going on? So look, for me, Andrew Leonard, for the moment, for Corey Ruckers, my co-commentator, what we can promise you is that if we do have an update and we're able to get those cameras back up, do also give us a little bit of time, because right now it is hammering cats and dogs. It's coming down terribly. Even one of the covers blowing away right now, and there is lightning around, so we might need to just come off air. We'll keep you updated as soon as we can. It is carnage, to be honest, right here, right now. I want to thank you for watching, and we promise you we will have an update. If we have an update, we'll come back to you.
Netherlands really struggled in that last game, and it was only Musa Ahmed coming in, the left-hander, biffing a succession of Maximos that got them back on track. While for the Spanish, DDC, despite a failure earlier today, he's recaptured some of his best form, and that man, Mohamed Babar, he has returned to the tournament with a vengeance. Only into the Spanish side earlier today. Played a magnificent innings and was striking the ball as cleanly as we've come to expect from one of the dominant players of European cricket over the last couple of years. Netherlands 11 entering the field. Plenty of Spanish support, but the Dutch, no shortage of people in the crowd backing them as well. In fact, that whole hospitality area littered with orange and red shirts in support of these two squads. Some of the best players in the tournament on display here. This really should be a terrific game of cricket. And you can't get closer than that. The supercomputer calling it a 50-50 game at this point. And I think that's a pretty fair assessment of things. Talking to quite a few of the folks around the hospitality tent today and down in the wonderful VIP area. It's been set up here around Cardimer Oval. Very much split opinion as to who is going to make the final. The Dutch want to win this game, and then stopping this opening pair of Babar and DDC, highly important. Not much they can do to stop that man's brain working overtime. Corey Rutgers masterminded yet another wonderful campaign from the Spaniards here at ECC 2023. Sometimes T10, it is a game of momentum, and Spanish seem to have it. Their last couple of games, decisive victories. First up against Germany last night to make it into finals day, and subsequently a good victory against the Irish this morning. So they have won their last two contests. The Dutch, Pierce just giving a cheeky little signal showing everyone's relaxed in the Netherlands camp. They're coming off that last start loss to the English. A game they were in for most of it, and certainly the start they had. This man with the ball, Vivian Kingma, he was excellent in the first 3 overs. Just standing at the top of his mark while we wait for clearance to get underway. Babar taking the strike. Sharp ball, but down the leg side, called wide. Notice in that last game, Kingma, after he bowled his 2-over spell, is consistently in some pain. Looks like he's got some sort of stomach issue or a side strain, perhaps. But fairly frequently trying to soothe his midsection. Hasn't harmed his pace at all. Another one down the leg side though, so given he was so much on the button in that last game, surprising to see him push one down the leg side. See some incredibly high quality cricket here at Cardimer today. 4 best teams in the tournament. Obviously we said goodbye to the Italians, Jersey and Germany yesterday. Better ball, but Babar has eaten it for breakfast. Launches the first Maximo of the game. And Kingma started with 2 wayward deliveries. The third one back to his normal role, trying to hit the top of off stump, but Babar, short arm jab, elevates and uses the pace of Kingma. Just a good shot for a man who has one of the least extravagant backswings in this tournament. He hits the ball so far. A little bit short of a length. It's good reply from Kingma. I wouldn't say it's a weakness in Babar's game, but certainly far more comfortable playing off the front foot. Kingma dropping his length back. Just a touch, a little bit of extra effort. Played a lot of international cricket, the young man with the ball at the moment. Great weapon for the Dutch to have to open up the innings. Another one, jags back. Strikes the big Spanish opener. And so you've now got bowler and batter giving their tummy a rub. Extra effort ball from Kingma. Really good brace position at the crease. Babar trying to work it across the leg. The evidence of those last 2 balls, suspect Vivian Kingma won't be shy to put in a 3rd one. Maybe even getting it up at shoulder height. Challenging Babar to play the pull shot. Oh, he's tried to whip that around past fine leg. Exceptional fielding. That was Kloppenberg. And he's been opening for the Dutch recently. Ball rocketed off Babar's bat. It's an intriguing first over here. Just the one set of runs off the bat in the form of the Maximo over mid-wicket. A couple of wides, Babar being struck. It's all happening here at Gardner. That one's hit him again. Much more favourable length from Babar. He likes to get inside those balls that are slightly short of a length on the leg side and just whip them off his hip. That one's come back a little bit and struck his upper thigh. Not sure it's going to worry the big man too much. Well, there is the short one, and Babar takes him on. Top edge of the bat, but with the pace of Kingma, it's flown down to fine legs, so not a surprise to see him dig one in, but in the end, it's a minor victory for the Spanish opener. And Spain at the end of the first, 12 runs on the board, no wickets down. Have a look ahead, so this is the penultimate game of ECC 23. And the winner of this game, of course, will move into the grand final, starting at 20:30 Central European time and midnight Indian summertime. And a man who I know is very much looking forward to calling that game later this evening is the doyen of European cricket commentary, Mr. Maximo.
Yeah, thanks, Rhino. Great to be back. And 50-50, what more could you hope? The perverse sense of humour of the supercomputer saying this is an even split, and hasn't strayed too much from that after the first over, I think, from Kingma, who gets a couple of body blows but no wicket blows, and a bit of a top edge going for 4 last ball. Really like Olivier Ellenbaas as well with his variations. He's got a kind of slower ball that he digs into the pitch that a lot of batters have been finding hard to pick. Here he is bowling to the Spanish captain, Daniel Dorcaya, and there it is straight away. Daniel spoils a wide first up.
So
they won't get a run.
Slowest of slower balls possible there from Ellenbaas.
He picks that, but kind of gets it off the end of the bat. I mean, the Dutch are quite cunning, aren't they, with the ball? Saw Floyd getting a bit of tap in the last game, and you wonder how they might use him in this game. It's going to be quite a big tactical battle, I think, between the batters and the bowlers.
Ellenbaas drifts on the leg stump. That's exactly where Dorcaya loves to feast. Whips that bat around his front pad. Sensational cricket shot, and his first Maximo of the game.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, Daniel Dorcaya probably has a bit of an idea. Yeah, Ellenbaas probably isn't going to start with 2 slower ones, so he seemed to be comfortable with the pace that was arriving, and he put it over the fence.
A couple of wickets in his opening over in the last game. Ellenbaas bowled particularly well. Very much depends on how much the batters can read that change of pace. He's on speed ball, not particularly quick. He's not a big mover of it either. But if there's one place you don't want to bowl to a Spanish captain, it is on the pads. He's exceptionally good just flicking that bottom hand through and hits it so consistently.
Yeah, eventually. New ball is sent out there. Won't be a brand new ball. Be one approximately an over and a bit old. Daniel Dorcaya face up again.
Length ball, Dorcaya strikes it down the ground, but just falls short of Brat.
Game of small margins, isn't it? I mean, another day that might go shoulder high to Brat, who doesn't really drop much that comes his way. So Netherlands creating a couple of false shots, but no real opportunities yet. Just want to say a quick hello to everyone watching all around the world. Of course, yeah, it's a huge day on the calendar. It's probably our biggest day on the European Cricket Network, and probably be replaying this game and the final, obviously, for years to come.
Said he didn't swing the ball too much. That one's come in a long way from outside off stump, and DDC plays it pretty well out to mid-wicket, but it's just the single.
I just think Ellenbast has really stepped up into his role as a guy we have seen here for the Netherlands 11 over the last year or two, and he's really become an integral part of the lineup with the ball. He rarely lets you down. Let's see if Bubba can pick him here.
Does go for the slightly shorter off-speed ball. Bubba is leading a charmed life. Top edge off Kingma's final ball, and now he's done the same to Ellenbast. He moves along to 14 off 7.
Yeah, throws the hands as it, doesn't he, Bubba? And once again, not in complete control of that shot. It's an area we've seen a lot of catches go, to be honest, earlier in the tournament. Kind of falling out of favour, I think, with a lot of these teams in Championship Week, having that deep third fielder.
You come up and you've got better and better top order batters. Just the likelihood of the misstruck shot flying off the third man decreases. Just as we say that, they are pushing Kloppenberg back and have brought in the man from square.
Last ball, the second over coming up from Ellenbast.
A little bit of an away swinger. It's called wide. I like the change-up from him, though.
Yeah, this is wide, though. Look. Oh, yeah, I think it's more wide than not. As far as that third fielder, I get what you're saying. You want to protect other boundaries, but it is a way that you can get good players out. And uncontrolled edges will fly away. That is where false shots go. Okay, they've got the deep mid-wicket, but most things probably that Bubba hits in that direction are going to fly into the jungle. Ellenbast to redo last ball.
One's on length. Bubba hits through it. Probably not his cleanest shot, but he smacks it into the VIP area. Pretty ordinary attempted catch out there, but nonetheless, celebrations on the Spanish side into the second over. 30 for none.
Well, the VIP area is filling up, and I mean, I'm excited and equal parts excited and concerned, actually, with how many balls might fly in that direction. But that is the end of 2, and it's 30 without loss.
I think they probably should have done some catching training with the VIP guests before they rolled their way into Kardama today. They'll have a few Grizzlies flying in that direction.
I think we need a few heroes over there. I know the ball retrievers have strict instructions, a bit like the Secret Service around the president, to throw themselves in front of maybe some
distinguished guests.
Less experienced cricket watchers. Let's say here's Kingma back for his second over.
One's drifts down the leg side. Well, the first 2 balls of his first over, he speared for leg side wides. That one, Dorkaye just steps inside, whips it off his hip, and is not where you bowl to this young man. Lovely shot, and with the pace that Kingma bowls, anything around that hip area is likely to go. Bowled such a good pair of overs in the last game. Just direction has been down. That one swung. That's one of the best shots today. DDC gets slightly inside the line. Wonderful swipe across to square leg. Have a look at this in slow motion. The wrist work is tremendous. And he's hit that a long, long way. Sensational cricket from the Spanish skipper.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's got no obvious weaknesses, does he? Daniel Dorkaye made a lot of runs in the Hoofter class of this year, which is the second division of Dutch cricket, but he's facing a top liner here in Kingma.
Full toss, and he's pumped again. Kingma, he's being thrashed around by the Spanish skipper, and DDC is coming up with the goods when it was most needed.
Yeah, I mean, just loses length here, Kingma. I mean, maybe a miss-hit might go up in the air, but this isn't miss-hit from Daniel Dorkaye. Equipo Rojo spurred on by their fans at the moment. On a dream run to third in Europe, a team that a lot of people thought wouldn't get out of the group. A bit undermanned compared to last year, people said, but look at them now.
Kingma, slower ball. It's mishandled by the keeper, so they will run through for the single.
This hits around the crease where it can really take off. And to be honest, Verhagen does really well to get a glove on this. Look at that. Really takes off, and he saved 3 runs there.
It's almost like that elevated piece of the painted crease that it's just kicked off. As you say, he's done very, very well. I actually don't think this is a bad result for the Dutch. Dorkai was looking so comfortable playing Kingma. He's now got Babar on strike. Short ball. Almost plays the blindfolded pull shot, and it beats the fielder coming around. Musa dives over the top of the flying Grizzly, and the boundaries are absolutely raining here at Cartermore Oval, and the Spanish have reached 50, 51 for none. One ball still to go in the third. Well, he was probably their best bowler in the last game against the England 11 in qualifier 1, Vivian Kingma. Only got one ball left to go in this spell. 32 runs conceded. Full toss. Oh, Babar's missed out on that occasion. Really only needed to get a decent piece of the bat on it and it would have flown for a boundary. But in the end, that is the conclusion of a very eventful power play. And the Spanish, 3 overs in, 51 runs on the board. Opportunity for us to look at the Manhattan graph. Slowly increasing its way. Overs of 12, 18 and 21. That run rate, Vinny, 17.
Yeah.
If Spain can keep that up, they will put a hefty total on the board.
It's a really good power play. For me, Spain versus spin. That is where this innings is going to be kind of hitting a bit of a crossroads. And they're going to run into Clayton Floyd here, MVP 2 years ago in over 4. Clayton, he's had his trials in this series. Also had some pretty good moments. First one, chases one outside the off stump. It's away from the fielder and it's 4. So that one probably would have been a wide if he'd left it alone. But Dorkaya rolls the dice and it comes up a 4.
Yeah, certainly did. Floyd got hammered in the last game. In fact, both of the Dutch spinners were taken to the cleaners by the England batting lineup. Thought for a moment the outfielders might have been in with a chance, but managed to place it well. Goes very wide of off stump, and despite the fact that Dorkai started outside off, it's landed outside the crease line, so it's a called wide.
It's a massive wide. I mean, even with him standing there, he's missed the return crease there. But yeah, Clayton knows the wide. He's just applying a little bit of pressure to the umpire, so he might get the next call his way.
Floats the ball up, and he's almost having to treat off stump about a foot outside the wickets at the moment, given where Dorkai is setting up. Ask whether or not he needs to give a single to the keeper that he's going to spit one down the leg side, see if he can take out his leg stump.
Yeah, it's a good start, but it's only a start for Spain. They need to keep this up.
Well, if you keep on giving Babar full tosses, he won't miss out too many times. Such a clean striker. Spain, 63 for none. It's a Maximo.
Yeah, Floyd's just had problems with these full tosses, hanging fullies, and they're going to disappear pretty quickly. Babar, well, back in the action. He's in the mood, isn't he, today? 60 in the last game. What a guy to be able to bring back.
What a guy to bring back. There's also a question for me here that I half expected the Dutch would consider bringing back Mies van Vliet into this game. They felt one bowler short, and especially with both of the spinners down on confidence after that last game, could have done with the big paceman here. That is a reach for Babar, but it matters not one jot. He's launched another Maximo. That's probably the biggest of the lot. What a strike.
This is a classic. Not a bad ball, but smashed anyway. It's a gamble from Babar that he's going to pick the length and he's going to pick the line right, and he does both beautifully. He reaches, and this is a very kind of tight ball shot, the slog sweep, and you can see Babar anywhere in the middle of that bat, it's going to fly, and he certainly is keeping the ball retrievers busy at the moment, Rhino.
He's got one of the meatiest bottom of the bats I've ever seen. The amount of times you see bowlers feel like they've either beaten him in flight or just pushed it wide of off stump. Doesn't matter, still hits through the ball so powerfully.
That's not only the bat that's meaty.
That one is struck with a bit of beef, but not so much this time, and almost in trouble as he just a little bit languishing between the wickets, but Brat can't hit, and they won't go through for the one. Partnership already up to 70.
He loves batting, doesn't love running as much. Look at the stats from DDC here.
Goes to the offside, gorgeous cricket shot. That is the class of the man. Some players you can bowl wide of off stump and they will struggle. Absolutely no issues for DDC. It's the end of the over and the Dutch, 76 for none.
Yeah, so it's been just the start that the Spanish wanted. 76 in 4, and they've somehow increased that run rate up to 19 and over at the moment. Now, Rhino's just stepping out for a sec because we've got a very special guest here in the commentary box.